Allow me to introduce myself. Who knows what dastardly crime he might perpetrate next?
He's a very clever arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of suicidal maniac.
Speak the truth. People need to understand this. Straight shot, no, I can't miss. Are you just talking? Never, I do this here often. One of the biggest mistakes you ever can make is disrespecting the greatness. You may have never heard this before. One more for the playlist, tell them what to do. This is what we gonna do. Speak the truth, speak the truth. People need to understand this. Straight shot, no, I can't miss. Are you just talking? Never, I do this here often. One of the biggest mistakes you ever can make is disrespecting the greatness. You may have never heard this before. One more for the playlist, tell them what to do. Cool, thanks, kudos, real talk, not for the pseudos. Trust the kid, real talk, I debunked the myth. Sit still, don't run from this. That's a wise man told me. Watch for the fakes and the phonies. You gotta be cautious, listen and open your conscience. People be talking that nonsense, chattering, that's when the daggers are stopping. Okay, this is what we gonna do. Speak the truth, speak the truth. People need to understand this. Straight shot, no, I can't miss. Are you just talking? Never, I do this here often. One of the biggest mistakes you ever can make is disrespecting the greatness. You may have never heard this before. One more for the playlist, tell them what to do. This is what we gonna do. Speak the truth, speak the truth. People need to understand this. Straight shot, no, I can't miss. Are you just talking? Never, I do this here often. One of the biggest mistakes you ever can make is disrespecting the greatness. You may have never heard this before. One more for the playlist, tell them what to do.
All right. Good morning to everybody, man. We gonna have a beautiful, organized show this morning. I'm not gonna allow more than 5 persons on the panel so that it doesn't get congested and people don't be like, I don't want to let them on and all that craziness. But we're gonna have a beautiful show. But before I start, I gotta say this, man. Sometimes we associate with people and we don't know what they do in the background, right? So there's been a lot of videos, and what I notice is I pick topics based off what's hot in the community. I'm around the Hebrew Israelites 24/7. I'm on Clubhouse. If you don't find me on YouTube or Facebook, I'm on Clubhouse. And Clubhouse builds strength. It builds you taking BS. Because they block you, they talk over you, they're aggressive. It's an audio app. You know, people talk tough and they do their things. I had a confrontation with a brother by the name of Captain Tazaryach. And it seems this brother wants to meet up and box. And I'm going to say this. I'm not meeting up with anybody in the streets or anytime. I'm too old for that bullshit. But I'll say this. It shows you're not grounded in what you believe in. Because if you can't agree to disagree to the point where you get in anger, to the point where you want to box, that means you can't be on the right side. Captain Tazaryach is a fool. He's misleading our people and teaching our people wrong. Now, I call him a fool, but I won't call Captain Tazaryach a fool, although he believed the same thing as Captain Tazaryach. I'm going to give a quick example. Last night, my sister tagged me, Sister Mika, in a post. And I want to show you guys the post, right? So that you don't think I'm bullshitting. And what happened is, this is why they don't like me. This is why I am dangerous to the Hebrew Israelites. This is why. And I want to make it clear. I'm not bragging, but I am the most studied person in the conscious outside of the Bible-believing community when it comes to the Bible. There is no person on earth, I'm speaking with my chest out, that can debunk, refute, and shut these Negroes up better than Garfield. There's nobody out there, and I'm talking with my chest out. And the reason why I talk with my chest out, because I could put up or shut up. Now, the best minds they have a brother from the Believers of the Way. I would love to have a conversation with that brother because he seems like he reads a little something. There's a brother from Tabernacle of David. There's a brother from Sons of Thunder. There's a brother there's Yawasap, there's Panah. Yawasap and Panah is like the best of the best of people who study outside the Bible. Priest Daniel Allah and Lions of Israel, them brothers, Rowe and a couple of them, they read a little books. But the thing is, there is a difference between a reader and a researcher. Because I will read something. I'll show you. Let me give a quick example of something that's a problem for the Hebrew Israelites. Brothers will show this right here. This is a map, right, of Africa. And it says land of the Jews. Wherever you see the orange marker, it says land of the Jews. Now, Hebrew Israelites read that and we say, yo, and it's primarily really the Central Africa, like Congo and Angola, where most of the slaves of the transatlantic slave trade came from. Now, if you read this, we got to be honest, Brother Law, shout out to my big bro in the building. Oh, my bad. Let me stop. Pardon. Where's my manners? Let me give a roll call. BK Soul Farm was here first. Alex Torres, big up yourself. Aaron Lowry, Mongo Slade, Unknown, 676, Cedric, Pseudo Killer, Cortega, and Brother Law in the building. Those are in the chat. The people who are not in the chat, who don't want to communicate, they're just here to peep and say what he's saying. Is he debunking us? Those people won't comment. They'll just watch and learn. But this map, a lot of Israelites bring this map up, right? There's a specific one they like to bring up, is the Livio Sanoto map. It says land of the Jews. So now, if you believe you're a Hebrew Israelite and you believe West and Central Africans came over on the transatlantic slave trade, you would say to yourself, this means that we who came over on the slave ships were Jews. This is proof there's land of the Jews. But what happened is most of the areas that shaded orange is where the Congo is. For those who don't know the Congo, they were, what happened to them? They were converted by who? Roman Catholics. Roman Catholics would not allow Jews to practice Judaism. So why would it be land of the Jews? It first started with this guy in 1502. And everybody pretty much just copied what he said. But I'll get into it another time. But I'll say to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's wrong with y'all. Y'all will read this, jump on it, don't know the root of it, where it comes from. There was no Jewish community there. So why they call it the land of the Jews? Because of previous people that already did it. So you need to go back to this guy and see why he did it and why the others just basically mimicked him. It doesn't mean Jews were there. Because if you go into the community of the Congo, Congos forbid Jews because they were Christianized or baptized by the Portuguese Jews the Portuguese Christians who were what? Who just kicked out Jews out the land for being Jews. So how are they going to be Christianizing and baptizing people and have Jews living there and call it the land of the Jews? It makes no sense. They were forbidden to practice openly and be Jewish. So why would the land be called land of the Jews? You got to go back to 1502 to the Catino planisphere and find out and go to the root of it. So because you read it, don't make it 100% true. All right? Just a quick example. And let's look at another example. My sister tagged me in a Tariq gas. Of course, Tariq gas is Captain Tazaryach, if you don't know. So apparently the same fool, Kataza, put this up. Would you look at what we got here? Shemitics in Egypt. Whoa! So what? So what if Shemitics are in Egypt? Let's ask ourselves the questions right now. Not Asiatics, Shemitics. They're saying Shemitics because they believe in the Shem, Ham, and Japhet nonsense. So now look at what Garfield says. I shake my head. Mika said, laugh out loud. What? I said, Semitic folks has always been in Egypt. What's new? They would like to make these folks Hebrews. Tell them to show you when the Hebrews left. The issue is, this is why, and I'm gonna have this conversation with Orthodox more and the other brother that he rocks with, because this is what I want to tell you guys. When you believe something, you automatically want it to be true. There's a difference between science, scientific trust, or I had an argument this week. This dude's trying to say that science is a belief system. No, it's about confidence. You have confidence that what the researchers put out is true because you have to observe it. You can't observe faith. You can't observe walking on water. You can't observe that there's a heaven that's coming back. You can't observe that there's a physical hell. You can't observe none of the stuff that you guys really believe to come in the future. You can't observe it. With science, even with the Big Bang Theory, we weren't there to observe when it happened. But because of the evidence that's left behind, science has come up with a scientific theory, and scientific theory is not the same as theory. They do some observations of what's left over, what they can know. They test it, they falsify it, they peer review it. They do all those things, and then you come to a conclusion, because if it can't be falsifiable, it's not, it can't be science. You can't come to a conclusion if it can't be falsifiable. And that's a key. Can you falsify your belief? That's when I'll become a Christian. That's when, because I'll give everybody a baseline who watches my channel. Let's say we all believe in a God. My God could be a cat. My God could be a rat. My God could be Ahura Mazda. It could be Shinto. It could be one of the Dionysus. It could be any deity. But let's have a universal language that we all could agree on. Let's treat people the way we want to be treated. That'd be the only religion that we all can agree on. Everybody, even Cedric, I agree with that. Let's treat everybody the way we want to be treated. So when Tazaryach cuss me out, I cuss him out. He call me names, I call him names. I'm going to treat him the way he treat me. Yawasap treat me, he said, Lord, peace, da-da-da-da. I said, peace, love, da-da-da-da, back to Yawasap. I'm going to treat everybody the way they treat me. It's a universal principle that we don't need a book to show us. You see my friend with his wife? You see my friend with his wife? You don't want to sleep with his wife because you wouldn't want your friend to sleep with your wife. You wouldn't want to see that. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, that's a universal principle. All right. So let's get back to this post that I'm talking about right here. So I said Semitic folks has always been in Egypt. What's new? And by the way, look up Tel Al Sudan. It's from 3500 BC. Egypt, what we call Egypt today, those people in that region was trading with the people in what's called Canaan today, what we call Canaan, which is Israel. So the Semitic people from Canaan was trading back and forth the whole goddamn time. Coming into Egypt, trading, bringing all type of products. So before you find anybody there, what's going on? Let's keep the lie going. Okay, look at these fringes. I responded and said, part of the ancient Near East culture, Sumer had them documented. We can show a primary at 2400 BC. They had fringes. We have it in the old Babylonian, old Assyrian culture between 1900 and 1600 BC. We have it in Canaanite culture. We have it in the Amorite culture. Cultures all had it. Folks wearing it, they don't make them Hebrews. That's what it is. But the homeboy shared it. Sumerian statues and relief from Uruk Lagash Mari show nobles wearing garments with tasseled or fringe edges. The statue of EB II Mari, 2400 BC rope, has a fringe-like border of knotted tassels. The issue here is this, though. Why is he putting that post up? What is he trying to prove? What is Tazaryach trying to prove? And if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, if you notice something about that post, I said, tell them to show you the Hebrews leaving Egypt. I bet you they can't show it. They got a papyri. Shout out to Kwame in the building, my Jamaican brother. West Africa DNA M2838. Peace to the squad. Peace and love to you. Free DNA test for abos. Shout out to you, George Ricks. Shout out to you. Everything is everything. Shout out to you, my Jamaican brother. Who else is in there? Mika, Sister Mika, the half of Garfield is Sister Mika right there. Sister Mika, Afatunde, peace. Rasta Priest, peace and love to you. And by the way, I have a new rule. When you come on the panel, you're given 2 minutes to speak. Then I respond 2 minutes. I don't want nobody to feel like when they come on a panel, they can't speak. So if you want to challenge anything I say, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. All right? All right. Tazaryach is a historian. He's a pseudo-historian. Now, another thing I want to talk about before we get into anything. Captain Tazaryach was put on the hot seat on Sarnetta's TV. You know what the problem is, Sarnetta? You don't have Garfield and Rawbone anymore. That's the problem. This is why this guy gets away with murder. There's no way Captain Tazaryach will come on my channel and do a hot seat. It will never happen. First thing I'm going to bring up right here. I'm going to show you the first thing I'm going to bring up. I'm going to just go by YouTube videos. First thing I'm going to bring up is this. Right here. First thing I'm going to bring up is this video right here. Hold on, where is this video? Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see right here. I can't find it. Here we go, right here. This is the first thing I would bring up. Watch this. The first thing I would bring up is this right here, to Tazaryach. This is why Enki is not qualified. This is the first thing I would bring up. What happened?
Christ is coming back on.
Is America. America's going to be places that's going to be
the first thing I would bring up. With the 2,000-year prophecy that you, General Yahana, was perpetrating a fraud and pushing in the year 2000. This is what I would bring up.
America has less than 628 days. America has less than 628 days. America has less than 628 days before this country is taken out in thermonuclear destruction.
This kingdom, America, is going to be destroyed before the year 2000.
Evil kingdom that God spoke of in the Bible. And all you so-called white people, your condemnation, you are condemned to what? Hell. And you're going to be in hell, you're going to be oppressed before the year 2000. Christ is going to come back.
Museum America is going to be destroyed before the year 2000 by thermonuclear destruction.
That would be the first question I would ask Captain Tazaryach. That's the first question. How do you respond? Stoic, shout out to Stoic. Pick up yourself, my brother, Kwame. Darren Williams, peace and love to you. James Covers, been following me for years. One of my secret teachers. Chris Isaac, peace and love to you, beloved. The year 2000 around. That's the first question I would ask him if you have him on a hot seat. Enki ended up asking him about Genesis 2:10 They got the dates wrong. But Chris, on a realistic level, Chris, you gotta agree. That's fake and false. Let's go. Why is it false, Garfield? Why is it false? Because Deuteronomy 18 verses 18 to 22 tells us. Let's go to it right now. Let's go to the King James Version and see what it says. Because we're gonna go into the biblical text and read what it says so that we're all on the same page here. We don't want to push no false doctrine on my channel. We don't want to do none of that. All right. Let's look at Deuteronomy 18 verses 22. Let me get the right version. I don't want the NIV. I want the KJV. King James Version only. Because I want to give them brothers their respect. Some of them are KJV. All right. No, I'm not going to play the video. You see, the problem is when Sonetta had Garfield to call and just be the on-call scholar, Captain probably wouldn't even have did a hot seat. He wouldn't have did a hot seat. But another thing to that, I study Captain Tazaryach. Captain Tazaryach has made me be a better debater. Because to be a debater, this is why I like being on Clubhouse. I like when people interrupt me and be nasty and talk dirty and disrespectful. Because why would we be ESV? I don't understand that, bro. Maybe you're trying to type something else, Chris. So watch this. So now, Captain is a master manipulator when it comes to debates. You will ask him a question and he will switch that question around and make you look stupid. He played the video when Enki said that we come from the sun. The sun is like a sperm and all type of shit. And I'm laughing while he asked a question that had nothing to do with that. He just trying to make Enki look stupid to the people. That's not the question. You on the hot seat. Why are you trying to now put Enki on the hot seat? Which was a great move by Captain Tazaryach because he had the whole panel, including Sonetta, laughing. He had the whole panel laughing at Enki, and Enki's the one that got him on the hot seat. So Enki already lost before he could even ask the other two questions. He was looking stupid. But let's go back to this right here, because now I would pull out the scripture and say to Captain, it says, I will raise up for them a prophet like you from their fellow Israelites, and I will put my words in his mouth. He will tell them everything I command him. I myself will call to account anyone who does not listen to my words that the prophet speaks in my name. But a prophet who presumes to speak in my name, anything I have not commanded, a prophet who speaks in the name of other gods is to be put to death. Why wasn't Arya put to death? Who speaks in the name of the other God is to be put to death. Now, he said, look what he said, but a prophet who presumes to speak in my name, anything I have not commanded. He didn't command that prophecy of 2000. Is to be put to death, comma, is to be put to death. You may say to yourselves, how can we know when a message has not been spoken by the Lord? If what a prophet proclaims in the name of the Lord, the Most High, does not take place or come true, that is a message the Lord has not spoken. That prophet has spoken presumptuously, so do not be alarmed. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not from God. Hence, everything that came out of Arya's mouth should be thrown in the garbage. 12-tribe chart, garbage. You see? That's the first thing I would have asked, Captain. That's the first thing. Okay? Now, watch this now. Watch this. Let's be realistic now. Now, the thing now, Arya is, I don't know if he passed or is he still alive or whatever, but he's with ICJGCE or whatever. All right? But watch this now. Watch this. 9/11 happened. But Chris, I noticed you one Western guy. You see, Chris, you are a smart guy, Chris. You better than that one West BS. If you believe you're an Israelite, you believe you are an Israelite. You're not speaking for everybody else. You got to put yourself and say, listen, I've been through this and I'm an Israelite. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you try to say a group of people, you're telling a lie to a group of people. 9/11 had nothing to do with 2000 prophecy, bro. You can't equate 9/11. 9/11 happened. Who predicted 9/11? Death and destruction? Death and destruction has been going on in the world for the past 5,000 years. Went from 1 trillion surplus to 4 trillion. That ain't got nothing to do with no prophecy. That's America and their bad spending. Again, we are imposing our biblical belief on a society. That don't make it true, bro. That's all hypothetical. Now watch this, family. If I was talking to Captain, the next thing, you know what? I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to this in 1 second. I'm going to come back to this because I want to get the show started with what the topic is and what we're talking about. Because there's something important I want to say to guys, right? Before I play the Wack 100 something. Wack 100, if I'm putting on a product, I am hiring Wack 100. I am hiring him because he knows how to be in the media. I'm going to give an example. This is going to be disgusting, but I have to put this out right here. It was on hot97.com. This is not Garfield. So don't nobody say Wack, tag Wack on and say Garfield is coming for you. This is Wack putting out the story. And I'm going to tell you something. He had a book out, and this guy knows how to be in the media. Look at this. Wack 100 stuns the internet with shocking admission about his wife. Does anybody in the audience want to guess what the admission is? If you didn't read the article. If you didn't read the article, don't. If you read the article, don't answer. Watch this right here. America is still here. It hasn't fallen. Does anybody want to guess what Wack 100? And by the way, too, I think the link is the link in the chat. Oh, you know what? I didn't what you call it? Let me see. Let me what you call it? The link. Let me pin the link so anybody can jump on. Give me a second, family. Anybody in the audience want to guess what Wack 100 revealed? Anybody want to guess in the audience what he revealed about what he does to his wife? It's very gross. Anybody want to guess in the audience what he revealed about what he does? Does anybody want to guess? All right, watch this. Let's read the article together. Wack 100 stuns the internet. This was November 6th. This is from hot97.com. This is not from Garfield. Stuns the internet with a shocking admission. This is him and his wife. What did he shock them said? Wack 100 has been married to Kimberly Jones for years. To limited to shock values. What did he admit to? Hold on, where is it at? Wack 100 during the conversation revealed intimate details about his personal life that left everyone in the room speechless. What began as a casual talk about preferences in relationship soon escalated into a series of wild confessions. When the group started discussing the craziest thing they had done to their partners, Wack 100 made a surprising admission while on the phone with his wife. He confessed to doing what? Drinking her urine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop for a minute. He admits to drinking his wife's urine, and his wife is, I don't believe this to be true. I'm going to say this. I don't believe this to be true. I think this is all publicity. There's no way no man is drinking his wife's urine. No, there's no way. No way. I don't believe that. He got to jump on to get involved with this craziness. I don't believe this. I think it's all publicity. The guy is a master at publicity. He has to be in the media. He's beefing with, now next week I'm going to talk about him and Charleston White, how they beefing, he's sending people to get Charleston. He's just the guy to be in the media. The guy knows how to get you going. Because I know if he really doing this, I know Captain Tazaryach ain't going to F with him. I know that for a fact. Wait, what you got to say, Mika?
That's nasty.
Yes, it is. I don't believe it.
Nasty.
Look at this.
I mean,
his comments.
listen
to this part. Listen to this part. Yeah. This is why I don't believe it. His comments stunned everyone, but Wack appeared completely calm about it. To make things even more jaw-dropping, Ross called Wack's wife during the stream, and she confirmed that it was true. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. There's no way if you admit that you drink your wife's urine, you're calm. That alone tell me it's not true. This is publicity. I don't believe this, Mika. I don't.
Well, Garfield, he says some wild stuff that he does with his wife. So it wouldn't surprise me, but that right there is just nasty on top of everything that he have said. So, oh my God, I don't know.
I don't think this is my issue. I don't think Wack 100 is doing none of that. And even if he's this, I don't think he would admit it. I don't think he would admit that. I don't think well, you know what? Let me not say that because I don't know him like that. But that is just crazy and outrageous. Crazy and outrageous.
Yeah, he does say some crazy, outrageous stuff. So
hey, speaking about crazy and outrageous, right? As far as from a sexual perspective, look at this video I found on the internet about coconut.
Get into a coconut. Like I drink water, right? But a coconut don't drink water.
A few moments later. The liquid which eventually reaches the coconut is referred to as the endosperm. This endosperm, now, a part of the endosperm gets converted into a creamy tissue and gets deposited on the coconut.
Hold on, they trying to know. They not doing that. I know they are not doing that right now.
B-Lou, you trying to say I'm drinking dried up nut? Then look, creamy tissue. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
He's drinking cocoa nuts.
Yo.
How does water get into a coconut? Like I drink water, right? But a coconut don't drink water.
A few moments later. The liquid which eventually reaches the coconut is referred to as the endosperm. This endosperm, now, a part of the endosperm gets converted into a creamy tissue and gets deposited on the coconut.
Hold on, they trying to know. They not doing that. I know they are not doing that right now.
B-Lou, you trying to say I'm drinking dried up nut? Then look, creamy tissue. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
He's drinking cocoa.
Super pause. For those who don't know, now you know about coconut where it comes from. All right. Anyway, we done with that. Let me get to Captain Tazaryach versus Wack 100 about. Hey, Chris Isaac, the government cannot run out of money. They print money. All right. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here. What are they talking about now? Let me see what they're talking about here. All right. Hold on there. All right. Let's get to Captain Tazaryach TV and see what's popping. Now, Captain Tazaryach is the most popular Israelite right now, right? He's out there. He's doing his thing. Hold on. Where's this video with Wack 100? Hold on 1 second. All right. So here we go. All right. Where you at, Mika? Where you at?
What you showing?
I'm about to show Tazaryach and Captain Wack 100.
What is really going on? Should I be centering myself
I'm not
or
forgetting my point?
Wait?
Hold on, right now. Y'all chill.
Y'all both in the morning
they
show
have a
chat.
new one.
Z, go look at the morning show
What's
chat.
going on?
Wack,
Cap
I think. Z, look at the morning show chat.
Cap say he was in here.
Hey,
Oh, he in here now. Go ahead. Sorry.
Cap on
Yo,
stage.
Cap.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, what? Why we gotta make everything about black people, bro? For real, man. It makes us, I'm gonna be real. It just makes us look like we crying and whining because They ain't, bro. They just said they shutting down the food stamps. Nigga, that's the country, bro. Like, why
What
we
you talking
make?
about when I make
Why
everything black
y'all?
and white? What you
Yeah,
talking
it's
about?
like, bro, on some real shit. Or these little movements, like they take everything. It could be a worldly thing. It could be a country thing where it's just blanketed. But
But what you
somehow
talking about
y'all
though?
got this fucking shit you got up here, bro. What that got to do with? They ain't said it's the black because of the black people. This why we got the problem. So how did you convert that to that?
Man, you must not watch the news. I listen to Fox News get on there and say they tired of supporting it, so women, so black, so they could buy weave and
Wait, slow down.
shit.
Fox News said what?
Said they tired of supporting it, so that all they doing is spending the money on
Supporting
weave.
it,
And
right?
Snap, yeah, Snap is what I'm talking about.
Okay, but you do know there are all colored women on Snap, and I will bet my bottom dollar there are women from every ethnic group that probably abuse the funds in some way. Everyone. So how did you hear?
That's what they said.
Yo, you telling me Fox said black
They didn't
women?
say black women, but when they say weave and shit like that,
No,
ain't
no, no,
nobody
no, no,
think
no.
about
Slow
like
down.
why is this
I'm
bothering
asking
you
you.
though? I ain't understanding
Did
why
they
this
say
bothering you.
no?
Like this
Did
ain't got
they
nothing to
say?
do with you. I'm talking
Hold
about
on,
what
no,
white
hold
people
on.
do. What's
Did
the problem
Fox
with you
say
though?
black women?
I just said no.
So why are you saying I need to
Because
go?
I'm telling you why. Because when they say weave, don't nobody think about nobody but black women.
Huh?
Man, I'm not
Bro,
about to
what are
play
you,
this game.
bro? Do you hear
I
yourself?
hear myself perfectly.
How the hell did you, bro? So you saying when somebody says we are tired of supporting, that automatically means they're talking about black?
In the history of SNAP
All
or in
right,
the
we
history
go.
of welfare, they have made the black woman to be the queen of welfare, and she's
Listen,
not.
bro.
So
Listen,
I am not
listen,
speaking. This ain't no
bro.
fucking black PowerPoint. This is what they
Yeah, but
do.
why are you making it that? They talking
I didn't
about
make
the
nothing.
people
What?
in
What? I
general.
don't even know what the fuck you talking about. Make what
Because
something?
you weak ass niggas cried like nobody
What the
said
fuck is
black.
you talking? You still ain't telling me what you're talking about.
That
What
shit
did
you
I
got up
do?
there.
What you
Nigga,
talking
you
about?
niggas
Post?
want to make everything black.
Wait. You talking
Nobody
about?
said
Wait.
black.
Okay. Did I create that post or did I just
Yes, you
share it?
did.
Wait. No. Did I
Yes,
listening is
you
an art.
did, nigga.
Listening is an art. Did I create that
Yes,
post
you
or did I
did.
just share it? I didn't
No,
make that.
those
I
are
didn't
your
make.
words, right?
Those are my words, but the
That's what the
post is
fuck I'm
not my.
talking about.
The stats is not
You,
my
bro, and
words
then
though.
you say you didn't
The
listen to
stats
Fox.
ain't my
They
words though.
said we.
The stats
That
ain't my
don't mean
words.
black
Did I
people.
did I did I put the numbers up there? Did I
We
put
ain't worried about
whites?
the
Did I
numbers
put
because
blacks? Did I put this?
everybody
Did I
got
put
shut up.
that?
You said black
Then that
people.
means somebody. That
Who?
means somebody.
Who?
Whoever created it, that I shared it.
No.
That's
You
my
wrote them
point.
words.
I'm not talking about my words. My
That's
words is
all
my
I'm talking
words.
about.
But the post itself is
We
for
don't
what?
care about the post. We
Why
know,
why
hey,
why
bro,
is the post? Why is the
there
post?
is
Why is it
not one
important?
ethnic group that does not have somebody on government assistance.
You fucking right. But there is an ethnic group that they try to make be the main one on government
When? Show
assistance,
me
and that's
that.
black people.
Show me that.
Listen,
You
if I
said it.
got a shirt,
Give me the
listen, that
Fox 8 News. You said they said it, right?
yeah, if I got
They said
time,
it.
yeah, if I got
They
time,
said black people.
I just told you they didn't say black when
So
they
why
said
you
we.
making it like they said it and they didn't?
Nigga, this been known for years and
Oh no, it
decades
ain't
that when they
known.
talk about welfare, man, we not gonna act
Welfare, hey,
like what
bro.
we not gonna act like
Hey,
is
for
that we
years we've
today years
always
old
said
acting like
it's more white people on government
that's what
assistance.
we say, but the
That's what the
propaganda make
world
it still
says.
seem like
Look
it's
at the
us.
fucking chart.
Look at the chart. What?
White people in the #1 position.
I agree, but who did
So
the
where you
propaganda?
getting black from? Like it's a black thing.
I didn't say it's a black thing. What I said was, don't let him fool you. Them white and white immigrants on that snap too. This ain't about black people. They
Who
just
made it
making it
about
about
black
black
people? Okay,
people.
since this been going on, the shutdown. Show me where somebody made it about black
I
people.
just gave one example where Fox said we
That
tired
was
of
they never said
if
black
I
people. They said
I just
we.
They don't. When they say weave, and they said
We
something else
is not,
besides.
bro.
When
Now
they
you
say
sound like the
weave,
community.
when they always
I'm
say
not a
weave,
fucking
and they
we.
said
That's
something
French.
else.
We is French. That
I
ain't we.
said weave, hair, weave, weave.
Okay,
That's what,
weave. Okay, how does weave mean they're talking about us?
because they said weave is something else. So they
Weave
didn't
meaning
say black.
people. Okay, let me give you
No,
another
no,
word.
we no no
Let
no
me
no
give you
no no.
another
Weave
way.
meaning hair.
Let me
Weave
give you
meaning
another way
hair
of hearing weave.
extensions.
Let me
No,
give you
no,
another way
we.
of hearing
Yeah, no,
weave. The
no
working
problem,
class.
man. That's
The
not what
working class are
I
the
said.
weave.
Weave, weave, not we
That
as in a
means
bunch
the
of.
working class that pay
No,
taxes.
look, Wack. I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying.
Oh, bro, you're
We
not hearing
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
hair extensions. They said they're spending the money on weave. That's what they
Okay,
said. Right.
that ain't, bro. Do you not
So that's how you know
understand?
they talking about black
Hey,
people.
yo,
You say,
Cap,
how do I
maybe
know they talk
listen. Hey,
about?
Cap,
How you know
Cap,
they talk about
hey,
black people?
Cap,
That's
hey,
how I
Cap, hey,
know.
Cap, listen to me.
Man.
I don't think you understand that maybe your women don't like get dolled up, but hair extensions are not restricted to black women, bro.
But when they say it, you're immediately thinking about
No, you
black
do.
people. Man, if anybody did a general poll
Anybody
anywhere,
in
when
there
you
tell
say
you
we, they
white
gonna say
women,
black people.
white
But
women,
listen,
Mexican
man,
women,
listen. I
Asian
don't know what
women,
the point. I don't know what
all
the
get
point of this shit
fucking
is right
weaves and
here.
units.
I don't know what the point of this
Because
shit
you
is right
niggas
here,
make, I'm gonna tell
but
you
for
my
you to try to
problem.
make it seem like you capping hard as
Y'all make
fuck, and you gonna
everything
tell
black.
me that when you think about weave on a woman,
I
that we
don't.
don't primarily think of black women.
I
And so
don't.
when
I
that
don't.
Fox News nigga said weave and getting their nails done, everybody thought about
Are
black
you saying
women.
black women don't even want to get their nails done and get weave?
No, I'm not. But the
Hey, bro, I'm gonna be
propaganda that
real. I'm gonna
Fox
be
is
real with you,
pushing,
bro.
man, you
When
like,
I take my
man,
woman to the nail
man,
shop,
man.
1 out of 5 people is black. It's white ladies and shit in there, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. Maybe you don't participate in that with your women. I
I
personally
do
go.
listen. I don't give a
I
fuck
go
what
to
a
the
woman
nail
puts
shop.
in their hair. I don't give a fuck what a woman puts in their hair, and I don't give a fuck what a woman is doing with their stamps. I don't. But when I made that post, because everybody
So
generally
when you
makes
hear
it about
weave and
black
nails,
people, and me
you
putting
hear
a
black.
post showing that white people do it, how is that a bad thing?
You
I just don't know where
make
the bad thing is
everything
at.
seem like we're
No,
just.
I don't make it that way.
You do.
This
No,
country
they
makes.
know this
Listen,
country is these
nigga,
niggas.
you know why they have black and white statistics? Because this country makes everything black and white. I didn't create a fucking
I
black
mean,
and white.
statistics
The
are
whole reason why
statistics.
we even know the number. Okay, so if they got white and black statistics, then that means this country made it black and white, and then we give commentary on it. So
You
talk to
just
them. Don't
made it.
talk to me. Don't
I
talk to
have
me.
yet. I
Don't
have
talk to
not
me.
heard
When they talk about crime,
nobody
that's
say
America
we're in a
creating black
crisis
and
because
white
of black
statistics.
people. I ain't heard nobody say that.
I have every right to give my opinion on how they talk
Niggas is
about
weak. Y'all
Snap.
niggas is weak, bro. Y'all
Man,
is
you can
weak.
call it what the fuck you
Y'all
want.
are, bro,
They
because
do
guess
it,
what?
we do it.
You niggas do a lot
I
of
guess
talking and y'all
everybody
don't
weak.
do shit
I
about
guess
nothing.
everybody weak. I
Y'all
guess
don't
everybody
do
weak.
shit about nothing.
We don't
You
do shit
niggas
about
blow
what?
through a bullhorn and don't
Right.
do shit about
Man,
nothing.
even that shit is old. We don't even use bullhorns. That shit is old. We don't even
It
use
don't
bullhorns.
matter.
We ain't use a bullhorn.
Black,
In my whole time
weave
in the
and
truth,
nails.
I've never
Hey,
used a
bro,
bullhorn.
the fact
But
that you
now, how
said
about we feed our
weave
people?
and nails
How
is
about we've
black
been feeding our
people
people
lets
before
me know
there
them
was a threat of
dirty,
Snap?
funky
Right.
Hebrew bitches.
Hold on. He didn't use a blowhorn with bullhorn with Unc when Unc was on 125th? Yes, you did, Tazaryach.
Oh, I thought it was a microphone.
I think he used a bullhorn.
No, who used bullhorn anymore? That's so old.
They used to use that, man. That's why when I went out there to go challenge Priest Daniel, I had a bullhorn. So really? I had my own.
Ay, damn.
It's like a General Wizard.
You must don't go to the nail salon.
Hey, General, you know where Kyle at?
I'm telling you,
Kyle
when you go to the nail salon,
I'll call
there's
him.
more fucking other people in there than black people.
I agree. That's my whole point of making the damn post. So why can't I point that out?
Bro,
Why can't I educate people that think that more black people is on it and just show them all white people is on it?
Nobody is
What's the
saying
problem?
this is a black problem.
Oh, listen, all I said was when they say this is about black people, it ain't.
But
What's the problem? I still don't see what's the problem. Them stats came from the government. Them stats came, hey, go talk to the government. What I would do if I was you, I would go talk to the government and say, hey, stop making this shit black and white.
Show me
Because my people keep making it black and white because you making it black and white. Don't talk to me, talk to them.
You made it that.
No, they did when they put the stats out, nigga. You crazy?
Meant black people. You said the word even
they make this shit black and white. Not me, man. This shit is diabolical right here, man. They make this shit black and white. I don't. We just respond. We just respond to the shit.
Let me ask you something. You think all black people are good?
No, I don't. I don't.
And you think all white people are bad?
Yeah, I do. Yep, I do.
Oh, it ain't no need to talk to you no more then.
There we go. There we go.
You're a racist. You're a racist.
What the hell?
You're a racist.
Now I'm just saying. I'm really just saying that shit to be funny because this is. I really just saying this shit to be funny.
To you,
listen, I'm laughing, nigga. Like I'm laughing, man. Nigga, nobody gonna get fucked up.
And I hope you tell that white paramedic, don't touch my loved one.
Ain't nobody gonna do that because clearly I'm laughing. I'm trolling you back. Like that is I laughed when I answered the question.
Somebody very
man, ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. You can't. You don't have that type of power. You don't have that type of power to say anything.
Don't touch my loved one.
You don't have that type of power over any of my loved ones. Nobody does. So that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Power. Something fucked up always gonna happen.
It ain't not because you
nigga,
said
ain't
it.
Nobody's family
not because
that
you said
exists
it.
That nothing fucked up happens.
Not because you said it though. It ain't gonna happen.
No, nigga, I'm telling you because that's life, nigga.
But it ain't gonna happen because you said it though. That's all.
No, you gonna tell the
it's fucking crazy as fuck that because I made a post, you want something to happen to my family. That's diabolical. That's how I know it ain't gonna happen.
White people
so because I made a post, I laughed and said
somebody very close to you.
Listen, I'm laughing.
You no more then.
There we go. Let's respond to the shit.
Let me ask you something. You think all black people are good?
No, I don't. I don't.
And you think all white people are bad?
Yeah, I do. Yep, I do.
Oh, it ain't no need to talk to you no more then.
There we go. There we go.
You're a racist. You're a racist.
What the hell?
You're a racist.
Now I'm just saying. I'm really just saying that shit to be funny because this is. I really just saying this shit to be funny.
To you,
listen, I'm laughing, nigga. Like I'm laughing, man. Nigga, nobody gonna get fucked up.
And I hope you tell that white paramedic, don't touch my loved one.
Ain't nobody gonna do that because clearly I'm laughing. I'm trolling you back. Like that is I laughed when I answered the question.
Somebody very
man, ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. You can't. You don't have that type of power. You don't have that type of power to say anything.
Don't touch my loved one.
You don't have that type of power over any of my loved ones. Nobody does. So that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Power. Something fucked up always gonna happen.
It ain't.
I agree with Captain Tazaryach. Garfield?
What I observe with this community, man, that's funny, man. If you don't act like you hate white people, you're called a sellout. I don't waste no energy on white people. None. To hate, to love, to like. Because whenever there's a fire in my house, more than likely in all fire departments, there's more like 80, because that's one of the most racist departments in all of America as far as hiring processes. There's not enough black representation in fire departments. And you know what? I respect firemen because they have to go into buildings, even though it's a project with black people majority, they have to go in there out the fires and put their lives at risk. So whether they're white or black, I appreciate all firemen. But now, what Wack is saying is, I hope something bad don't happen to your loved one because that white paramedic, are you going to stop them? This was his logic. Are you gonna stop them and say don't perform CPR or give them care? I'm paraphrasing, of course, to that person because it's a white. That's the type of racism that Wack is talking about. What Captain is talking about, he's talking about systematic white supremacy and racism. It's two different things because you have confidence that if a paramedic come, whether they're white or black, they're not looking at color. They're going to try and revive your loved one. You're not saying that that white man ain't going to do enough to. You're not going to say that. You're not going to go in the doctor's office, Mika, and give your blood and say, I hope it's not a white guy at the lab that's monitoring my blood results. I think the way how we talk, it don't manifest in our lives. We just talk it because it sounds cute. If I want a lot of people to watch me, I would make videos and say, kill the white man or white man for dead, the white man and the devil. It's all a hype. It's all hype. I'm telling you, it's all hype. I'm to the point where I'm glad Amir was a black woman that actually was the doctor that helped to push him out and all this. I'm glad it was all black doctors. Shout out to 233rd and what do you call it? It's now Montefiore Hospital. It was Our Lady of Mercy before. Shout out to the Roman Catholics for their hospitals. Shout out to the Jews for their hospitals. And these are primarily all white folks. But we bring our kids there. We bring our children there. Whenever we're sick, we go there. We're under the care of white people primarily. So this thing about racism, how far do we take it? Is it just a hype? I get a lot of views, so I say, yo, white people, you're evil. Okay, white people have done evil. But then when you say, oh, do you trust your doctor? Do you trust your doctor? And is your doctor's supervisor white? Is the person at the lab white? Is the lab company a black company? What are we doing when we say we don't like white people? It seems like in a Jamaica, Mika, when I entertain, I go on stage and I want a quick forward and say, if you don't like Baltimore, put up your hand in the ear. Bro. It seems that's the same thing when it comes to white people. If we want to get a following, we have to show this venom of hate. Hebrew Israelites can't survive without that divisive argument. They can't do it. They have to talk about Christians and they have to talk about white folks. They can't have a straight conversation. You know this YouTube channel, I play their videos all the time, Home Team History. Home Team History is totally different than me. They're just putting out information. Maybe I would have more viewers if I was like them, but they don't say white supremacy. They don't talk black supremacy. They just give you like it is. And they are very pro-black as far as the history, but they don't have to shout out and say the white man is the devil to prove a point. It seems Captain Tazaryach, nothing against my brother, that's what he does. It seems you have to say the white man is the devil to say, hey, I'm genuine. But these people are the same people that's on jobs, Mika, that work with white people. Supervisor, you can't tell a supervisor at your job you're the devil. You can't run around your job and say the white man is the devil and I hate white people. Oh, I can't stand. Oh, you love them white people. You defended them white people. You can't say that on the job when you work with white people. So how is it that when you're on YouTube, you have all this talk and you're so brave and powerful, but you can't do it around the people that you say you hate? You see, he says it on YouTube because he's not working for a job anymore. But when he was working at Home Depot and working with this other company, Cap couldn't say that on the job. He couldn't say it on the job. You can't say it on the job because you work for white folks. So when they're the devil, oh my God, the white man is the devil in quiet, in private, but not in public when they could see it. Yeah, good point, my brother Yassan. Good point. He said, don't the camps have a 501c3? Yes, except Lands of Israel. Lands of Israel, the priest Daniel, I said, no, I'm not doing the 501c3 shit because you are the government. You are now sanctioned by the government. Let me ask you a question. Oh, Mika, respond to what I'm saying.
Yes, thank you. Breathe, Garfield, breathe. Yeah, but when in the beginning of the conversation, he was saying the media was talking bad about black folks about using Snap.
No, they never said black though. That's how Wack got him. No, they said they're gonna use the money to go and buy weeds. So he took that as a knock on black people. So Wack is saying white people wear weeds more than black people. You didn't know that? Most of the people who see actresses is weeds that wear that. That's who black people got it from. They got it from white people.
Well, you know how some European think. So therefore, he was just combating against what other people portraying who's on Snap. So that's why he brought out the graph or whatever to let people know it's not only black people on Snap, it's more white people is on Snap. That's what I got out of conversation in the beginning. After that, it just went somewhere else.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that Captain Tazaryach is a threat to white supremacy?
Say that again?
Do you think Captain Tazaryach is a threat to white supremacy?
No.
Okay. Do you think Farrakhan is a threat to white supremacy?
No.
All right. Do you think who's the most popular black TD Jakes? Do you think TD Jakes is a threat to white supremacy?
No.
All right. Why? I mean, they talk very
all they do is talking.
Okay. All right. Now, do you think the new Black Panther Party, who publicly carry guns and is on the FBI watch list, do you think they're a threat to white supremacy?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the public. No.
By the way, just for the record, white supremacy is an idea. You really can't kill an idea. What you can hope is that less people with that mindset is around. That's pretty much what it is, because there's nobody on this planet Earth. When I'm born, I don't hate white people. When you're born, Mika, you don't hate white people. You grow into a culture that makes you want to hate white people. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so now we might hate them and be prejudiced, but we are not able to stop white supremacy just by talking about white man is the devil and all that stuff. What stops the only person I've ever seen white people really scared of is the guy, I think his name was Mika Johnson, the guy that shot the cops in Texas, the black guy. And then they interviewed the guy who was a part of Public Enemy, Professor Griff. And he's like, I don't know that guy, because they took a picture of him. They went on his Facebook. He took a picture with a couple of people in the conscious community. Then the FBI, they started something called black extremism. 2019, when the so-called people who claimed they were black Hebrew Israelites in Jersey, they started watching them because of black extremism. So they started thinking about black extremism, because what white folks in general look at is the people who are white nationalist Christians who like to say carry guns and live in the woods. They fear those people because those people hate everybody. They hate Jews, they hate blacks, they hate the government, and they want to bomb places like Timothy McVeigh. They're scared of them. So they really don't scared. If you look at the FBI watch list, you could rate yourself based on the FBI watch list. Garfield is not a threat to white supremacy, because all I'm doing is
guess what? The KKK, they go out and do all kind of crazy stuff. They got random shooter who just killed that other guy. They worrying about the wrong people.
Hey, Chris, I never said, hey, Chris. I don't have a problem you being here. I don't have a problem you making your comment. But what I notice with Bible believers, I don't know what is it about your brain and how I'm generalizing. You guys do not listen. It's hard. And maybe that's why, maybe there's something slowed up in the brain where you can't understand what you're reading, why you believe what you believe and hold to it so strongly, because it's dumb as hell. And then look at what he says. Garfield makes it seem like firefighters and doctors are only white. I never said that. I said the majority are white, and as far as their hiring practices, it's very racist nationwide. I'm paraphrasing. It is. Being a black firefighter used to be a hard thing in America, bro. You know how many lawsuits they had to make sure that now they have to hire black people because of they're saying that they're racist and they discriminate against because the white buddies like to hire their white buddies because the pay is very good. But what I said was crazy is that these same racist folks have to go into buildings where black people live, the majority, regardless of their skin color. And some of them die doing it. That's the crazy part about racism, Mika. They hate black people. They live in the white neighborhoods, come in the black neighborhoods to make $140,000 a year, but got to go in black buildings that say black lives. Crazy. You see how the world works? You got to save black lives to make money. But you hate us. It's crazy. Obi, what's up, Obi? What's on your mind?
What going on, bedroom?
Medea.
Yes, big up on myself. Hey, you know, me personally, I think it's kind of disingenuous though to say when media does say people on SNAP or welfare benefits, and then they're getting their nails done or hair done, and even people say like, oh, they drive fancy cars. I do believe that we do know who they're talking. It's disingenuous to say, "Oh, they're talking about white people as well." Like it's a stereotype. Which I'm not saying that we have to. I'm not saying that we have to.
I think we now, whether they're talking about black people or white people, I think what we're doing is this, right? We say, for example, they are making a dig at black people. So what?
Mm-hmm.
So what? No, but I'm trying to figure out. We know white supremacy and racism exists. If Fox News, who we do look on as a racist channel normally in the black community, so what? What do we expect less from them?
Well,
This is my argument. My argument on what Wack is saying is that not only is black people, we know there's more white people on welfare, more white people on snaps, more white people getting benefits. In the red states is where most of them live. Right? Now watch this though. We know this. Why are we letting this affect us at all? You see, Captain has to say that because he plays on emotions to get a reaction to what he's saying. Because we know, so we want to paint the picture white people is evil and we are going to send angels and kill all the white people that are going to be our slaves in the kingdom. That is the bottom line. That's what he teaches. So of course he's going to come out and say the white man is doing this, white man. And by the way, there's no 2 million angels coming out the sky to save black people and to fight a battle for God. It's not happening. Whoever believes that shit is crazy. So it's all in his doctrine. Everything Captain does goes back to his belief. Everything goes back to his belief. This is why when I was talking earlier and I said, if I was to confront him on a hot seat, there's a couple of things I would confront him on. I would confront him on 70 AD. I would confront him. Do you have evidence? Do you have evidence of Africans or black Jews leaving out of Israel or Judea and entering into Africa and ended up in West and Central Africa? That is what and you know what he said? Well, we have Rudolph Windsor, we have scholarship. No, you don't. There's no scholarship to agree with it. And in fact, let me just say this openly. I'm going to address this in the next topic, because the next topic is Hebrew Israelism is dead. I'm going to get into why I hold to that argument and bring the information forward. Because I'm going to say this to everybody. There is no Jesus coming back. It's a belief. And it's a faith that holds you in check, because religion is able. You see, the beauty of religion is you have millions of people to believe it because they believe you have to live a certain lifestyle. If you want to rob banks for a living, there's nothing going to happen to you if you rob banks other than the police going to be looking for you. There's nothing. But they tell you not to rob bank because it's not the Christ-like thing to do. So Robin Hood, who used to rob from the rich and give to the poor, would go to hell in the eyes of a Christian. But in the people in the streets or the people in the hood, he's a hero. You see, people got to look at things differently because of your religious belief. It keeps you under control. This is why they do not fear Hebrew Israelites. I'm talking to Tazaryach, Priest Daniela, Yawasap. The government doesn't fear you because they know you believe in a God that they are attached to. Whether they believe in the right God or not, they know that the Bible has laws, statutes, and commandments you have to live by. So you're not going to jump up tomorrow and take up guns and kill them. Well, let me ask you a question, Mika. Why would the government give any ISUPK member permission to have a gun if they fear them? Why would they give them gun license?
Why do they need permission?
No, I'm just saying they get gun license. They have gun license.
They have some of them have
a gun license. But why would they give them gun license if they fear them? The government is not giving a group that they fear permission to have guns. It don't make sense.
A chance to have guns unless you didn't commit, wasn't in prison or something like that. But
no, my point is, why would they give if they fear them? If the government, not saying that you say the government fear them, I'm just putting that out. If the government feared Hebrew Israelites, you know how many Hebrew Israelites have guns? Well, you know how many members of the Nation of Islam have guns? If they feared them, they wouldn't give them guns. They know your belief. They know how far you're willing to go. They know your playbook. They know it better than you. Look at Chuck Morgan. He's in the audience, right?
Now,
say that again, sis.
Don't you think they tracking them down like they know who got guns?
No, but they don't care. They don't fear them. The reason why they fear white militias have guns. Some of them have guns, yes. But at the end of the day, they know what their potential and how far they're willing to go. So they monitor. They're on the FBI watch list. They're not. What Hebrew Israelites have guns. So what? They don't care. They don't care. Because at the end of the day, they don't fear them. They don't have the backbone on the balls to start a revolution to turn over white supremacy. They don't. None of them do. None of them do. That's why they don't fear all this big talk. Listen, hold on, bro. All this big talk with their chest out. The white man is the devil. You don't believe the white man is the devil. It's a farce. They don't believe that. It's a front. You are preparing. Why do you?
No, but Golfer, you make it seem like they have to be scared of the devil. Like you.
No, it's not about scared of the devil. It's about they don't listen. If I, by the way, too, I'm anti-guns. I don't think anybody should have guns. That's what me personally. I don't believe anybody should have guns. I love that the UK population in the UK. The police officers don't even carry guns. All I'm saying is, listen to what I'm saying. They don't fear Hebrew Israelites at all. They don't fear them because they think that their God is going to punish the people who are in power. So they're in a wait and see program. I've been saying this for years. This is how religion grabs us. Even my brother-in-law, he's a part of the wait and see program too. No, indirectly, and he doesn't know it. Because we're all waiting for Allah or Yah or Jesus or somebody to come back and make this world right. But that whole thing in the religion, that clause that's there is to keep you in check. This is why the white man has no fear. He knows that the religion that they gave y'all keeps y'all in check. So I don't follow Christianity. Look when the black extremist, the guy did all the shooting in Texas. That's when the whole black extremism, they started watching the Kemetic community and all that stuff because they don't have no control over that belief system. They're like, how far are these people willing to go? Because they ain't following the Abrahamic faith no more. So they hate that. They will watch them more than they'll watch a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite group. Y'all could speak. Go ahead, Brother Law.
First and foremost, good morning to you all, as well as your brothers and sisters in the chat.
Peace.
I hear you talking, Garfield, and I hear Sister Mika speaking as well. The fact of the matter is this, in regards to when it comes to African Americans, and if so, coming to the point where it becomes somewhat of a civil war, blacks will not survive because anybody that knows anything about weapons, there is a shortage of ammunition here in the United States. We're not talking about your average brother that's in the hood with a Glock 9 or this kind of gun or that kind of gun. Brothers, as well as some sisters and others, are quicker to pull a weapon on ourselves than turn it on police or anybody else for that matter. So if we really want to truthfully speak honest, let's truthfully speak honest. Brothers is not going to war with the government. It's not happening. Whether you be a Muslim or you're Christian or this or that, there is no spook by the door in the African American community right now.
Facts.
If we're going to be transparent, let's really just be transparent. Brothers do not want to go into a gunfight against no police officers, against no federal officers, they're not doing that. It really behooves me how brothers get on here and they talk about snap this and snap that. It's plenty of brothers and sisters in the neighborhoods that were surviving and still surviving without SNAP food stamps. We go to work every day to provide as union workers, non-union workers, to provide for our families. Then you got black families that do have food stamps that sell their food stamps to people in the hood for whatever they sell it for.
Facts.
Instead of going to the grocery store to get groceries, they'd rather go get a chopped cheese at the store or this or that instead of getting a full meal for themselves. It baffles me. It really does.
Obi, you finished, brother Law?
Yeah, great
What I
point.
also
Go ahead. Let him finish, brother Law. Go ahead.
what I also wanted to state to you, Garfield, is this: in regards to Islam, it's not about the Maghdid or nothing. In Islam, we believe that every Muslim on the day of Yom Kippur in Arabic is the day of judgment. We are all accountable for our own deeds. I'm not accountable for another person's deeds. We're all accountable for ourselves.
All right, thank you, my brother.
I'm all right, brother.
You want to say more, or you good? You good? The floor is yours, bro. If you want to talk some more, it's all good. We got time. All right. Obi, you wanted to say something, or Mika, whichever one of y'all. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say too, like I don't see any organization of that magnitude as a threat to, national security. The Department of Defense or the Department of War wouldn't either, because they're not going to be able to form up against. When you talk about the government, you're talking about national defense. You're talking about military. You're not going to be able to arm up with whatever you think you got, and you can get, any organization group would get wiped out. So it's not even seen as a threat. And like you saying, if the organization is ran under a belief system of a faith, then the Department of National Security already knows that you're not willing to, you have a view that you're not really going to take it to where someone who doesn't have belief in a God and whatever that doctrine teaches, then you're more unruly than, saying that other person. That's how I see it. Because if you don't have a nation, how are you going to go to war against a government?
All right.
That's
Mika, you want to say
unified.
something?
That's unified.
Mika, you want to say something?
No.
Since I've been in America, right, the most unified I've ever seen black people was the Million Man March, right? At the Million Man March, you had Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett saying, "Don't go because the government is going to arrest all of y'all." And I used to go to them dudes' meetings, and I was part of the NOI at the time. And I'm like, damn, man, I like Phil Valentine because he talk crazy. That pseudo shit had me it just had me wrapped up one time. I used to love listening to that pseudo shit. And they said, don't go. They had the National Guard waiting to arrest all of y'all at the same time. So all 2 million go and get arrested. I'm like, that don't even make no sense. But the fact is, they thought the National Guard was out there, though. They thought that black folks was going to riot on that day, yo. And 2 people got arrested. And it was because of the same incident. This Chinese man called the cops, and he got arrested for making a false call. So that's the 2 arrests. That's the 2 police situations, I should say, not arrests. 1 arrest, but 2 situations. He made a fake phone call to call the cops, and they traced it back to him. So the Million Man March, there was no incidents. No incidents at all. But I'll say this though. I'm gonna say this one point that's very important to the whole conversation. If we lived in Arabia, brother Law, honestly, could we talk the way we're talking right now? Could we be so free to talk against the government? You see, this is the beauty of the democracy of America. We could say we hate the government and we this, we that, and God is going to do this and do that. But we can't do it in Saudi Arabia. We can't do it in Syria. We can't do it in Iran. We can't do it in Iraq. We can't do it in Afghanistan. We can't do it in none of these countries over there on that side of the world. In Turkey, we can't do it. We go to Indonesia. I got my Jamaicans in Indonesia locked up for life for smoking weed in Indonesia. You can't do these things in the rest of the world. So when we taught this powerful, America could make you feel more powerful than you actually are. So when you talk the way you taught, bro, go ahead, brother Law.
Indeed, but I will also reiterate more so and compound on what you're saying is in Islamic countries, it's based on Sharia law, meaning the principles, values, or ethics are based under Islamic laws. And with that, having those Islamic laws, the aptitude of respect and values and things amongst each other is entirely different than here in America. The mannerisms, their interactions is entirely different.
Yeah, Trump doing
Granted, there's savages everywhere. But if you hold a certain type of moral compass and how you conduct yourself on a day-to-day basis amongst others, human beings just like yourself, you will be perceived as what we all are, human beings of the same family. Whether you perceive as a Christian or Muslim or whatever, we're all human beings. We all have the blessing of breathing air for one day to another day, if given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the same aptitude or respect that I will want for myself and my family, I would hope that you will want the same for yours. I mean, for myself, I would want the same for you. Whether you be white, black, Chinese, it doesn't matter. Yes, brother.
Yeah, can I ask you a question as pertaining to Islam and Christianity as contrasting Abrahamic faiths? Now, Christianity teaches about, like, turning the other cheek and, forgiveness and things of that nature, which in my opinion, that's not something that's going to lead the character as far as like rebellion and stuff toward, because it teaches a lot of forgiveness and, suffering and stuff of that nature. Does Islam teach something, a similar philosophy as far as like how you're supposed to interact with like wrongdoings? Do you turn the other cheek and get some more, or do you rebel against that type of that type of behavior or stuff like that? Or does it teach like forgiveness, or does it have a stern like, no, you're supposed to be treated this way, you treat others this way, and there's consequences?
No, the consequences is okay. You can forgive a person for hurting you or harming you, but don't forget. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
Hey, brother, before you do anything, right? I want to show you something that I found. If I was a Muslim, I would be disrespected, right? And this happened. This is what Hebrew Israelites do. So when the brothers in the chat talk and they talk about Hebrew Israelites, I want you to look at this right here.
It's BCU. What's up?
Why is the Quran on the floor?
Because we don't believe in the Quran. We don't study the Quran. You know that there's a surah in the Quran.
That's disrespectful, bro. That's like, bro, I'm a Muslim myself, bro. I would never.
What is your nationality?
I'm American national. I had nothing to do with it.
Well, okay. Truth of the matter is, this is for you anyway. No disrespect, but that's just, it is what it is.
But the Quran on the floor. It's gonna stay there.
Oh?
I would never stay there, and I never disrespect. But it's dead, bro. Stay there.
Just keep walking, bro. Please. It's okay. Just keep walking. Just keep walking, bro.
We don't follow the Quran up here. We follow
that was
Bible,
crazy, though.
the scriptures of the Lord.
I got nothing.
1 2 1 2. No. We good. Okay. But yeah. Do you know?
Hold on.
That's our Quran. That's our Quran.
The police. Oza, wake up. Hey, no. Come on, bro.
So that's HOI.
I understand that, bro. You can't reason.
Respect your religion, though. Bro, like that hurts, bro. What the he acting tough. I'm a boxer. out of him,
Come
bro.
on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He got the
Come
Quran on the
Oza.
floor. You can have
Oza, bro. Oza, it's cool, bro. Oza, bro, it's cool, bro.
matter. It's a freedom of speech. Can't go around hitting nobody. Keep it moving.
Are you deaf? He didn't ask you whether you believe or study the Quran. He said, why do you have it on the ground? Young brother, you did right by picking up that Quran and showing them that this is nothing to play with. You should have ran off with it because none of them fat old men could have caught you. Then the cop gonna say freedom of speech. How is putting the Quran on the ground speech? Do you mean freedom of peaceful assembly? And I'm not telling you to break the law. But next time they on campus, I don't know where you at, but know that you got brothers on rank that'll pull up with you in every city. And it ain't gotta be no violence, just a respectful dialogue. But we gonna get that Quran off the ground, and you gonna know not to disrespect the Muslims.
It's supposed to be a black school.
I got a question.
HBCU. What's up?
Why is the Quran on the floor?
Because we don't believe in the Quran. We don't.
Go ahead, brother Law.
My response to that, to what that brother did, mashallah, that was a beautiful thing that young brother did. And the reason why I'm going to say that is this: there's not one Muslim that you've ever seen put the Torah, the Injil, Tanakh, or anything on the floor. That's unheard of. Brothers, Muslim brothers don't move in that fashion. We respect all the books. But that what done right there was triggering, as it would be triggering to me or any other Muslim brother. It was very triggering, and he did that for a reason, as a lot of brothers do things for reasons, just to get a reaction, whether it be on the internet or face to face. They do things to trigger people, and it's for you to have restraint or somewhat resilience and strength of your deen, to understand the difference between somebody trying to pull the wool over your eyes, somebody trying to poke you, to entice you to react, to do something harm or bring harm to them. People do things just so people can get themselves jammed up. Prime example, if that young brother would have wilded out, there was more than enough brothers there. They would have pounded on that young brother. But just having the mere fact of having his imam and having this respect of his deen, he spoke up, and there was nothing wrong with that. The same way for Hebrew Israelites saw the Torah on the floor amongst a whole bunch of Muslims, I would presume them to do the same exact thing. He did nothing wrong.
Hey, shout out to that young brother, by the way, to actually agree with him. And I think sometimes you gotta have respect for people in their walk. And it's just like I wouldn't shoot up the Bible like a polite. I wouldn't do none of that. Although back in the days, I would have definitely burned up a Bible a few times here and there. But we not supporting the disrespect of whether it's polite doing it or whether it's a Hebrew Israelite doing it. Wrong is wrong. You got to respect people in their walk. Yeah. I condemn it. I definitely condemn that behavior. Let me play the end of this, and I'm gonna get to what Sister Mika has sent me.
Not because you
Nigga,
said
ain't
it.
nobody's family
Not because you
that
said
exists
it.
that nothing fucked up happened.
Not because you said it though. It ain't gonna happen.
No, nigga, I'm telling you,
It's not.
because that's life, nigga.
But it ain't gonna happen because you said it though. That's all.
No, you gonna tell the
It's fucking crazy as fuck that because I made a post, you want something to happen to my family. That's diabolical. That's how I know it ain't gonna happen.
white people
So because I made a post, I laughed and said I'm trolling you, and you still after I said that you like fuck that,
no, it ain't,
fuck that.
The
That
same
shit
niggas
fucking
say you'll let an
crazy, yo.
African baby starve.
I never said I'll let an African baby start. That's not what I said. I said they can't come to our cookout. But I never said that. When we do our food drives, like we've been doing food drives long before there was a threat of SNAP. And when we do our food drives, we don't ask people their race. So we've given whites food, we've given Chinese food, we've given Africans food, we've given them food. But let's say if it's our school event, Passover, something like that, we're not giving them no food because that's our special event for us, which I think every race is entitled to. I don't see what the problem is.
Whatever that number is.
Yeah.
That's not godly.
What's not godly? The Bible, if you're gonna bring God in here, it's gonna be worse because the Bible says only Israelites can keep the Passover. Only Israelites can come amongst the congregation. So if you're gonna make it about the Bible, that's what the Bible says. That's why we could do.
Whatever that phone number is, baby. I don't know that nigga like that.
Nah, I think it's room. I just
Well,
didn't
whatever his
angle it
cash
right.
app
My
is.
angle over there. Hold on.
If he gave him the wrong one, that's on him. I don't give a
I
fuck.
think I can get it right. Get this angle is
How
right.
is that?
It's the damage of having a big ass truck and shit, man. It's fucking
Man, y'all,
diabolical.
it's just that, bro. Every time we throwing on some black shit, when it's a worldly problem, we just make it look like we crying and whining about some shit.
Yeah.
They ain't even
Room over
said
here.
it
I
like
got
that.
room now. Just had to back it out real quick. Oh, there you go. Okay.
So, Cap, y'all would turn away people who are starving?
What you talk? I just said this. This is what I mean when I say listening is an art. When we do food drive, let me answer. No, I did not. That's not what I said. I said when we do food drives, anybody comes and get food from us that's hungry. When we do a food drive, that's what I said. I said when we have our event only, like a Passover, like a cookout, that's a function that's specifically for our people. So it's not predicated on whether anybody is starving or not. It's like if a biker club has their own event and it's for biker members only, they have the right to say, you're not a member of this biker club, you can't come in. So if we have an Israelite only event, what the fuck is the problem? So I clearly said we have food drives that feed any race of people. That's what I keep saying. Y'all just choose because we can't have nothing to ourselves. So Israelites, we want
Y'all
something to
do. Y'all
ourselves.
got them
Where you say you
tassels
want
and
to
them
go?
weird ass uniforms. Don't nobody else
Killeen,
fuck with
Texas?
that.
Oh, I'm about to say, goddamn.
Don't nobody else fuck with them tassels and them weird uniforms, bro. Y'all got all that to yourself. We do not fuck with that. That shit will never become a trend, nigga.
It's enough trend for us. We don't need nobody. Listen,
That's
if nobody
cool.
wear that shit but
You
us, we
got leather
fine.
patches on your knees, my nigga.
That's fine. And that's all. You said Killeen Steakhouse like 20 miles away? Oh, okay, it might be a different. On WhatsApp? Okay, come. Listen, man, if nobody else on the face of the planet wear my shit, it ain't gonna stop me from wearing my shit. Cause I'm
No,
a fly ass nigga with the
bro.
shit. That's
We
why when
just
I do
telling
wear
you.
my shit, they be like, hey man, where you get that from, man? Can I get
Don't
it?
nobody tell you
Yes,
no
they
shit like
do.
that.
Yes,
Fuck
they
out of
do.
here, man.
Yes, they
Don't nobody
do.
tell you that, bro.
That's why I'm damn near like a spokesperson,
Only
General.
type of
I'm
nigga
damn near
tell
like
you
a
that
spokesperson
is
for the
either
shit.
you by like a mental hospital or something. There's nobody telling you that.
Nah, then I guess it's a lot of mental niggas outside because they be like, Cap,
It
where
definitely
you get
is,
them
bro.
pants from? Where you get that crown from? Where
Ain't
you
no
get this
nigga
from? Where you
asking
get
you
that
about
from? As a
no
matter of fact,
fucking
when I was
shoes
in
for
Dallas
leather
filming with
kneecaps.
Real Life Joker and the brothers, they like, man, I like that crown. That shit is fly, nigga. Like,
Oh
ain't
man,
nobody
ain't
gonna
no
convince
nigga
me that
walking
it ain't
around
fly.
like fuck
Ain't
that.
nobody gonna. But y'all niggas will wear them ugly ass Balenciaga shit. You want to talk about some ugly shit?
Huh?
Them ugly ass Balenciagas that niggas be wearing them
What you
big
mean?
ugly ass sneakers and them shits is fucking
That's
ugly.
his shoes.
Yeah,
Balenciaga make shirts and all kind of other
yeah, but
shit.
they shoes is ugly as shit.
And I
Shit
wear
is
them.
ugly.
Okay,
You want to talk about
And
some
I
ugly?
wear
But
them.
y'all niggas wear them.
you niggas
Yep, I
wear
wear them.
y'all so
Oh, this whack.
vinyl tassels on your jeans, bro. Jesus Christ. Y'all niggas be sewing vinyl tassels on the jeans, bro. The fuck are you talking about right now?
This shit's the flyest shit ever,
Why you
man.
niggas just don't put
I'm
no
sorry.
bells at the end of them motherfuckers?
Sometimes brothers might put it on their boots and put the bell, boom,
And
boom,
fuck
boom,
you.
and step with them shits. And pull any bitch they want to. Do anything they want to. Do whatever it is that we want, because that's just how cocky we is with it. That's why I wear my shit.
Are you gasping for air? Are you okay?
No, I'm sitting here laughing. I ain't
Nigga,
I'm
I'm
gasping
about
for
to say,
gasping.
shit. I'm
somebody check on
I'm
us.
just fine.
It's like, dang, nigga, y'all ain't grasping for air and shit.
Nah, man, I'm over here laughing. This shit is fucking funny, man. That's all I'm
So you
doing is
laughing to
laughing.
avoid the
That's it.
conversation?
This is what they gave you when you hit confirm.
What? Avoid the conversation. I ain't stopped talking since the conversation started, nigga.
Oh
Fuck you
You
shit.
just
talking about?
laughing.
See, now you cussing to avoid
I've
the
been
conversation.
laughing and talking. I've been laughing and talking, nigga. Ain't stopped. So what you talking
So
about?
I think the point the man's trying to make is I didn't, but yeah, like because should have hit confirm and whatever it shows. this snap shit is out, That shows it hasn't you been used confirmed. it to shed light on black people having snap.
That's not what I did. That you definitely listening is the art, and you ain't even listening. His issue is why am I making it a black and white thing when it's just snap? It's a everybody thing, nigga. You ain't even listening to his
I
argument.
just said
I know his
that's literally
argument.
what I just said.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You
See,
say you highlighting that it's black. I'm
this
highlighting that it ain't just black.
how I know I
What
got
am I?
you.
What am I highlighting it for? What am I highlighting?
See, this
I'm asking
exactly
you.
how you was when you
I'm
was
gonna be
arguing with that
quiet. No,
white
no,
man.
no.
I don't know if you
I'm gonna
can
be
be quiet.
quiet and ask you the. I'm gonna be quiet and ask you the question.
I don't know if you have the
What
capacity
is
to.
my post? What is my post highlighting?
Let's just go with my thing. My thing is, oh wait, 1 second, I'm gonna call. All right. My thing is, where is the evidence to say the media is making snap? That's not what's being pushed. They cutting off assistance. It's a government shutdown, not a snap shutdown. It's just so happened to be the first of the month, and motherfuckers like, oh, where are my food stamps? That's the country, not just black folks. And I also haven't seen anything that says black folks is going crazy over snap. I haven't seen that at all. So where is it that they're making this a black thing? Where's that at?
The one example I gave was when Fox News said they tired of women spending it on hair weave and nails. And then when I just did an interview, that's all I was asked about. Well, not all of it, but I was just asked about it. No, it's telling me to go straight, sir. It's telling
So
me to go
your
to Allen
example
Parkway.
is now
Yeah,
you also said Fox News didn't say black people. So we can just we can just throw that out. Right?
yeah. They
Because if
just
it's
got me.
not directed, it's
Wait, hold on.
not
You gotta repeat
respected.
that again because I was talking to my general. You gotta repeat that again. Say that again, Lavish.
Oh, I'm not going to use that example because if they didn't say black people, if it's not directed, it's not respected, right? We're just going to throw that out.
Yeah, those sweat, man. Those sweat. Listen, all I
The
did
subliminals. Wait,
was
I thought you was going to let me talk. God
all I
damn it.
did because
I had a
y'all
conversation
will
with you. Now
never get it.
you're in the matrix.
Saying you're throwing something out is not having it to me. Where did anybody say it?
Because they
That's
didn't
what
say
you asked
black
me.
people. I can say it subliminally and we can
No
think
problem.
because they used
Right. Because people don't know how to talk about people without saying to people. I get it. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead, my brother. I understand. Common
conversation that
sense.
you
Right.
were
I
in
understand.
that
Tapping into something
most
else.
people probably didn't see. So what other examples are there?
I gave one
Okay, fuck it.
example. I gave the first example covered them somebody talking about and referring to black people. You just disagree because they didn't say the name black people. That's your position. Then I gave another example. You said people wasn't talking about it, and then I just mentioned the interview I just did this Thursday, where people was talking about it and was wondering what black women are going to do. When I look on YouTube, when I look on social media, I see a lot of different conversations about snap. What people going to do? People making jokes about it about black people saying, shit, I've seen people make memes like that vagina gonna be cheap again because they gonna need SNAP money. I've seen it all over the internet. So to sit, now that I did
Okay.
mess up. So to sit
Now,
here and act like nobody, to sit here and act like nobody is talking about it is irrelevant. But my post was just simply highlighting who's actually on welfare. That's it. And it included black people, but it also included a lot of other white nations in America that is on it as well. So when they make it a black thing, it's not a black thing, it's just a everybody thing. So let's just move forward. Let Trump and us stop being so rich Because if you get to the heart of the matter, it just shows how the rich don't care about the poor at all, because SNAP only affects like 1% of the actual debt. They have a reserve, they can take care of it. So this is really about the rich not caring about the poor, but convincing us it's a black problem and not a white problem.
But how are they convincing us it's a black problem? Well, most of the time,
I just said so. I just said how.
I don't think Cap know what he's talking about. Now, the reason why they're scapegoating black people is to actually make poor people in general, or the lower middle class, to suffer more than what the rich are paying as far as getting tax breaks. Black people are used as scapegoats. I agree with Cap if he's intimating that. The issue here is they're trying to balance out a debt that can't be balanced out. You see, America prints money. So now, I remember when Bill Clinton was in power, they was talking about $1 trillion surplus and all this stuff and more jobs being created. But America likes to borrow money. And they borrow money from whoever. China. China owns so much debt. They made a commercial showing China having control over America and the Congress and Senate and all this stuff.
Indeed.
What happened is they could always borrow money and print money. So America has a failing system. And the reason is Jamaica, for example, has a trade agreement. America has a trade deficit with Jamaica. That means Jamaica produces this item that comes out of the ground, like bauxite or whatever they produce, this material, and America uses it. But Jamaica don't get enough stuff from America to balance out the trade. So it's like, say for example, Jamaica trades with America and say $2 billion worth of stuff. America will provide $1 billion worth of stuff. So America is $1 billion in deficit to a small country like Jamaica. America has a failing system. And what happened is everybody that becomes president don't care. All they care about is who gave money during the election campaign and suck up to those people and don't really resolve the main issues. So what happened with America is Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, they're trying to use those to balance out the money that they have in the futuristic monies that they have for those programs. They're trying to use that to try to balance out their everyday budget that they have. So they want to make cuts to those things. Democrats don't want them to make no cuts to it because they're looked at as a champion of the weak and the poor and the lower middle class. So they'll fight for those little things, but they will take money from different lobbyists and vote for other things to give tax breaks. So it's both hypocrisy by the Democrats and the Republicans. Nothing is going to be solved. The government is going to come back. SNAP's benefits are going to be paid, and we're going to live happily ever after. America is just a country in debt. It was $6 trillion in debt in the 90s. Now it's $38 trillion. They're printing more money to produce more debt on top of debt on top of debt until the bubble busts. This is why they're trying to go to a cashless society for the last 30 to 40 years and can't get there yet because they still print their own money. It's a failing system. So it don't matter who is in power. You just got to put yourself in a position where you have 6 months worth of rent, 6 months worth of mortgage payments so that you could survive. Because if you don't, you're going to be struggling if you go paycheck to paycheck. Ask the pilots right now. Pilots are they're getting another paycheck that says zero on it. And some of these pilots live paycheck to paycheck. So they are literally working for free. So that's what you need to care about. The people that work in the essential departments that the government supplies payments for or pay those people. That's what we need to worry about. All right. But let me finish this. Go ahead, my brother.
To be honest with you, Garfield, I heard what you said, but I somewhat disagree with you. Besides the simple fact of America being based on fractional banking, just that alone, America is single-handedly at this point abolishing the middle class. So essentially, all of us are poor. If you want to look at the criteria on that chart, there is no middle class anymore. It's either you're rich or you're poor. There is no middle class.
All right. All right. Let me finish playing this video and move on to the next topic. Hold on.
but you just disagree.
Yeah, I do. But because you still haven't shown me an example, but a Fox News, something about weak.
Fox News is the quintessential channel that speaks for Trump.
Fox News is the quintessential. Okay, let's see how many. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. You know what? That's perspective. I'm not gonna argue perspective with you. So without that one, because it wasn't a direct shot at black folks, which we have to disregard, because if I say I'm sick of people putting mayonnaise in raisins in their potato salad, you could infer that I'm talking about a certain group of people. But if I don't say it, it's what? Bullshit. Right? So that's the analogy that's what just happened. So also, most of the times when I hear jokes or fucking inferences of black people being on Snap, it come from other niggas. So
that's not true, because when we talk about, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No, go ahead, get to it.
Because the whole wealth, this was mind-boggling to me. Like, all of a sudden today, black people are acting like black and white people don't make black women the face of welfare. I'm today years old, and all of a sudden it's not about the media. Nobody, no white people ever say that welfare is for black people.
No.
I'm like, that's fucking dishonest. Like, y'all are fucking lying if y'all are telling me that welfare has not been something that's been perceived to be what black people are on and what black people use and take advantage of. And y'all are trying to.
That's a different conversation.
But that's my point. If you look at the words on the post, I said they make it about black people, but as you can see, it's not. That's my post. That's the words on the page. Because they do. Since black people have been on welfare, so you talk about, let's say, the 70s until now, when you talk about welfare, they make it seem like.
All right, let's move on. For anybody in the audience, I'm about to talk about the Hebrew Israelism is Dead Part 1. And it's centralized around two main issues about being black and being America, and stemming from Jews in Israel. I'm going to talk about the population numbers, the estimates that the scholars have used from the first century of the Common Era all the way up until the 1900s to prove that Jews have lived in the land the entire time period. This goes against them saying that they would have been scattered to the all ears of the earth, and that the Jews also, not only that they didn't live in the land, that everybody in the land is a fake Jew. So I'm going to prove today, I'm just going to say it. When somebody challenges me, then I'll show the sources, but I'm going to name it out today. All right. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So if anybody wants to join the panel, if you dispute what I'm saying, I'm going to give you 2 minutes uninterrupted. Then I'm going to go back to what I'm teaching. All right. Because this is one of the big things that I believe is a lie. I'm talking to everybody that researches, like a Yawasap, a priest Daniel Allah, a Captain Kataza, the brother from Believers of the Way, the Genesis camp, Sikari, GMS, all these camps that teach this. I would like to have the conversation. But what happened is I made a post and put it in 10 groups. Not one person has accepted the challenge. So for the next week, I'm going to continue this 70 AD challenge to show and prove that you guys are teaching a lie. All right. So it's not about, I don't want you to be a Hebrew Israelite, or I don't want you to be a Jew. The issue is you got to know how to have a conversation and also how to deal with the history and have them correlated. All right. I'm looking for a video on Cap's channel. Hold on there, where Cap is. All right, let me get off a Cap. All right, so if anybody want to have that conversation, again, the link is in the chat. If somebody, Isaac, Chris Isaac, if you want to come on and have the conversation, I already know who you are. If Isaiah 43, if you want to help me out with what the claims are as a believer, you don't believe what they believe, or you could probably guide me. But I'm ready to have the conversation if anybody wants to have the conversation. They don't want to hit the panel because this is something that hurts their system and their belief. The truth of the matter is, Josephus is the only historian that lived in the first century and that's recorded in the first century that was there with the war happening. Tacitus was born in the first century, and Suetonius and them, but they were doing recordings or working for the government to do recordings and seeing documents until the second century. So they were alive in the first century. Like Tacitus was born 55 AD. So 75 AD, he would have been 20. So he definitely know what was going on and so forth. My issue is to bring the historians, is to bring the documentation, and I want everybody to listen. All right? And this is very important because they're saying that Benjamin, Levi, and Judah came this way. The Africans who live in Africa today say it's the northern tribes. So you won't find African tribes saying that they're Judah or Levi or Benjamin. So they're both following a form of Judaism, but yet still they say, no, we are the original Israelites. But yet still you're following law, statutes, and commandments that was never codified when the tribes were exiled. Meaning there was no book of Leviticus. There was no complete book of Deuteronomy. There was no complete book of Numbers. And how do we know that? Because some of the books are written with loan words from Aramaic, Persian loan words, and they have different formal loan words, Akkadian loan words, which they would have gotten from Babylon. So you have an idea of when the book is written based off the loan words alone. So Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers, we could date those books based on loan words. So even if it's written in Hebrew, there's loan words grafted in. Like Genesis and Exodus has 25% of loan words are Egyptian. 20% of loan words are Akkadian. 10% of loan words are Aramaic. When was Aramaic the lingua franca? When the Assyrians started to take over the so-called Middle East. So that's when you start seeing the loan words and these writings started to affect and being broadcast as far as a liturgical text, but not a text that the whole entire community would know. How do we know this? Because we have practices by dietary laws that we could observe on the ground. We have an Elephantine community. And by the way, to the Elephantine community may have built another synagogue or temple in Edfu, in Egypt. Why are they building temples in Egypt when you're not supposed to be building temples outside of Jerusalem at the time? So if that was a law and they were in contact with the Jerusalem temple, how are they giving them permission to break the law? So then you have to ask yourself, maybe the law wasn't in place at the time. How are they celebrating Exodus at Elephantine when the Exodus has nothing to do with, how are they celebrating Passover or unleavened bread and it has nothing to do with the Exodus? That's a problem. That's a serious problem. It shows the law, statutes, and commandments and the storylines that we have today may have not existed at that time. For a Bible believer, it's hard to take that on because they're in contact with Jerusalem. And Jerusalem, they're even saying, hey, I'm going to do this on the Sabbath. The Sabbath didn't have the same meaning as it has today. So we have to use common sense in having these dialogues. This is why Deuteronomy is dated between 5th century BC and 7th century BC, because we see like the vassal treaties that we see in Assyria, we see it in the Deuteronomy 28. So when everybody arguing about Deuteronomy 28, we have word for word treaties in Assyria that they used to give out to their vassals, and the Bible writers are using the same wordings that's being used in the vassal treaty. So the scholars saying, oh, this must have been written the same time. All right. So now let's get to 70 AD. All right, 70 AD. Let's go to the evidence and what we have, and then go from there. All right, let's skip this. Let's skip this. All right, so 70 AD, based off of Josephus' writings, we know that people were captives and were taken to Egypt. We know that there were Sicarii that ran to Egypt, over 600 of them, and they tried to let the people start another war around 73 AD, and the Romans came in and killed them. All right? Now, let's look at this for a second now. After the 70 AD war, where did the Jews flee to? Where did the refugees flee to? They fled to, some of them went to Nabatea and Arabia, to different Jewish communities that already existed. All right? So that's something that we know because it's documented in Josephus. We don't have any records of multiple people, thousands or millions, fleeing into Africa. There's no record that says this. This is made up. The number 1 million, to be factual to the people that's listening and to have on your record. This is for the people that's listening in the chat to learn and don't want to comment. 1.1 million is documented by Josephus of dying. Not fleeing into Africa, dying. All right? Now, so after 70 AD, you had something called the Kittus War. The Kittus War was 115 AD, right? So the Kittus War, the Jews were actually winning in the Kittus War. But what happened is the Romans doubled up. And this is very important because remember, there were Jewish communities in Egypt, in Libya, in Cyprus, in Tunisia, in Djerba, in Morocco, Mauritania, before 70 AD. 80% of Jews lived outside of Judea. So when they would exile to these communities or these areas within the Roman world. All right? Pay attention. Again, if somebody wants to challenge this, I would love for them to have a conversation. All right. Now watch this. And Chris, that's a dumb question. Now, so the Jews at this time, the New Testament actually in the first century documents where the Jewish communities are. And if you notice, when it says for them to go preach to the whole world and all the nations, you notice they didn't mention Tazaryach. I had to say that. But anyway, after the Kittus War in 115 AD, the Cyrene community, which is Libya, was completely devastated. Roman reprisals under Lucius Quietus utterly destroyed the Jews, according to Cassius Dio, 6832. Cassius Dio, Roman History, 6832 to 33, written in the 2nd century. Archaeological destruction layers as evidence. Egypt, this is after the Kittus War. The Kittus War was between 115 and 117 AD. The Jewish quarters of Alexandria were burnt. Papyri show an economic vacuum that slowly refills by late 2nd century. The evidence is Oxygenus and Phaeum Papyri and Eusebius. The community in Cyprus, the Jewish community was wiped out and Jews were banned from ever returning. That the treaty's content was hijacked? Yes. Psalms 3:16, yes. Cassius Dio is the source or the evidence of that. In Judah and Galilea, it was quiet for a decade, rebuilding under Hadrian until Bar Kokhba revolt. The archaeology is the evidence and coin issues. So in the decade after 117 CA, Judea's population was stable under Roman rule and the North African communities were broken, not receiving new immigrants, I'm sorry. Then after the 115 AD, 20 years later, 132 CE, 15 years later after 117, we have the Bar Kokhba revolt, hundreds of thousands of enslaved and sold throughout the provinces based off of Eusebius. Jerusalem was renamed Aelia Capitolina. Judah renamed Syria Palestina. Refugees and captives appear in Egypt, Syria, and Asia Minor, all within the Mediterranean. Roman Africa equal North Africa only. When Roman documents say Provinciae Africae, they mean Africa Proconsularis, Cyrenaica, and Egypt, not the Sahara or the sub-Saharan regions. So anyway, we see that the north parts of North Africa were destroyed, but not Mauritania and not Tunisia and not Djerba. But Libya and Egypt communities were decimated, and Cyprus, just for the record. All right. All right. So moving forward, no migration beyond Egypt, no Jews entering so-called sub-Saharan Africa. There's no records of that. The captives were sent to different Roman provinces. So between 115 and 135 CE, there's no historical or archaeological trace of Jews from Judea or Egypt moving into the interior of Africa. Every known refugee movement stayed inside the Roman Mediterranean orbit: Egypt, Cyrene, Asia Minor, Greece, and Rome itself. Now, after the Bar Kokhba revolt, do we have evidence of actual Jewish refugees, not just captives? And if so, where did they go? The revolt began in Judea and as a national uprising against Emperor Hadrian's plan to build a Roman colony on Jerusalem ruins and ban circumcision. Roman sources call it one of the most devastating rebellions of the 2nd century. 50 fortified cities and 985 villages were destroyed. Eusebius speaks of a terrible slaughter and Jews being sold into slavery in vast numbers. Again, the Jews are being punished and they're moving West Ethiopia. Look up the Jerba, look up Tunisia Jews, and look up Moroccan Jews. All right. That's easy. All right. All right. So now what happened to the refugees and the Jews that survived all these wars that went on? In Galilee and northern Palestine, towns like Sepphoris, Usha, and Tiberias show rabbinic academies and mikvahot built soon after 135 CE. Internal refugees from Judea repopulated the north. This became the new heartland of Jewish life in Roman Palestine. This is very, very important. All right. All right. All right. Let me see. Judea was depopulated, renamed Syria Palestina, Jerusalem barred to Jews except on Tisha B'Av. Galilee becomes the center of the Mishnah and later the Talmudic Yerushalmi. All right. Then you had Egypt and Syria, Babylon, and Western provinces like Rome, Carthage, and Asia Minor. All right. Some of the sources I'm using is Martin Goodman, Seth Schwartz, Yaron Eliyahu, who talks about the different wars and how they got to the numbers and so forth. All right. So let's look at this carefully now. Remember, they said Jews didn't live there, right? Let's look at the reconstruction and the regional shifts. Synagogues were built in the era around 200 CE. Gamla, Sepphoris, Usha, and Tiberias, rabbinic schools. Mishnah was redacted to around 200 CE. There was internal migration, not immigration. So they stayed within Israel. After the Kittus War, Egypt and Cyrenaica gradually started to be repopulated into towns. Leontopolis, which was another temple that was built in the BC era, 2nd century BC, by the Zadokite priests. Oxenchurch and Fayum, they have papyri from 2nd century showing Jewish names and tax records. No sign of movements deeper than into Africa, farther than the Nile Valley and the Mediterranean. All right. So we have Syria and Asia Minor, Mesopotamia and the Parthian, Roman, Western Mediterranean areas where Jewish communities are. All right. So let's look at what I'm just going to look at a few more things and then I'm done. Just give a summary of everything. So between the first 2 centuries, Jerusalem and the temple destroyed. Jews remain across Judea's countryside. Masada is the last fortress. After the Bar Kokhba revolt, Jews were banned from living in Jerusalem. Nevertheless, Jews continue living in surrounding villages and in Galilee. Synagogues, early examples are Gamla, Magdala, Herodium area, and Masada. In the 3rd and 4th centuries, between 200 and 400 CE, numerous synagogues were built or rebuilt with mosaic floors and Aramaic or Greek inscriptions. Hamat, Tiberias, Sepphoris, Kerbit, Shema, Meron, Nabatea, and Sosea. 5th to 7th century, early Islamic time, Jewish population estimated at 200 to 300,000 across Palestine. Synagogues, you had dozens. Beth Alpha, Naran, Nososia, Hamat, Tiberias B, so forth. Jews joined the Persian army, briefly retake Jerusalem from the Byzantines, destroyed again when Byzantines returned 629 CE. Muslims conquered Jerusalem, Jews allowed back to live there for the first time since Hadrian. We're talking about Jerusalem, not Judea, Jerusalem, because that's the issue. The 7th to the 11th centuries, Jews live in Jerusalem, Tiberias, Ramla, Gaza, Hebron, and coastal towns. We have the Cairo Geniza letters mentioning Judean Jews owning land and trading with Egypt. We have primary evidence of that. The Dome of the Rock, an early mosque rise on the Temple Mount. Jews continue worship near the ruins. Synagogues in Jericho, Ramla, Tiberias, Mount Zion area. Between the 11th and the 18th century, this is when the population shifted. So there was about 150,000 Jews living there in the 11th century, but the Crusaders came in and massacred the Jews. So the population reduced to around 50,000, between 30 and 50,000. So in the 13th century, Jewish population in Jerusalem, in Acre, Hebron, Safed, European and Babylonian immigrants arrive. You see, that's key. Who are the European and Babylonian immigrants? Because remember, the Jewish home was in Babylon. It moved from Israel, from Yavne to Babylon in the 3rd century. That's when they start talking about the Resh Golata. The 14th to the 16th century, synagogues rebuilt in Jerusalem and Hebron. Nachmanides establishes a synagogue in Jerusalem, still standing. Safed grows as a mystical center. Arrival of Sephardic exiles after 1492. So after 1492, a lot of people said that there's no Jews there. But a Volta 8871, I might be naively stupid, but I think you're stupid to talk in the chat and not come on and challenge me. I said I'm giving everybody 2 minutes. I talk for 2 minutes and we get going. So if you don't agree, that's on you. But there's a continuation of Jews living in the land that were not kicked out. And I'm showing the continuation with the temples being built. All right. So up until the 19th century, we have all of that. So 70 AD, we have Jewish presence strong in Galilee from 135 to 400. 400 to the Arab time, stable. From the Arab time period to 11th century, it's continuous. 1099 to 1187, interrupted, restored under Saladin, ongoing. Then after the Ottoman time, 1900, you have the continuous 4 holy cities. So in short, 70 CE to 1900, Judea, later called Palestine or Syria Palestina, never lacked a Jewish population. Even when banned from Jerusalem proper, Jews lived in nearby villages, rebuilt synagogues across Galilee and Judea, and revived communities whenever foreign empires exchange hands. Now, if you want the population numbers over that time period, I could go over it with you guys, but there's tons of evidence of Jewish synagogues being built and being passed on from the 70 AD all the way up into the 1900s, and I could literally prove it. What I can't prove without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to explain to you right now, is that we can't prove the population numbers exactly, but I could give you an estimate. In the year 100, it was about 1 million people. In the year 200 CE, it was about 200,000. 300 CE, around 300 to 400,000. 400 CE, around 400 to 500,000. 500 CE, 350 to 450,000. 600 CE, 200 to 300,000. 700 CE, all the way up to 900, 200,000. 1,000 CE, 150. Then it came down to around 20 to 30,000 after the Crusaders. Them Christians came in and started killing all the Jews off. So if you want to believe that the Jews were totally wiped out of that era, didn't have a continuous people living there, then you are lying to yourself. You are lying to black communities. Now, as far as migrating to West Africa, which is my last point before we get into the Tariq Nasheed versus the Jamaicans. This is very important. I have not seen any evidence of a mass amount of Jews, because during the Kittus War, the Egyptian communities and the Libyan communities were wiped out, and the Cyprus communities after the Bar Kokhba. Now, is you calling me coconut logic? Is that supposed to like raise an emotion out of me or something? Bro, I'm on Clubhouse every day being called all type of names. That don't mean nothing. I want to say, right? Remember this carefully, right? How many people in the world in the first century knew the Torah? This is how you look at it. Remember, in the first century, the New Testament documents all the areas and nations where the Jews are. Because remember in James 1, he says, to all the tribes of Israel, he knew exactly where they were. 1 Peter 1:1 also documents where they are. In Acts 2, we see there in the Parthian Empire, the Mesopotamian Empire, beyond the Euphrates, all the scholars, Pliny, Strabo, and Josephus is documenting that they're in the Euphrates, beyond the Euphrates, the same era they were taken in the Assyrian exile, and in the Medes are in the Persian region. So where they were set by the Assyrians, they have communities built there, saying that, showing and proving that they stayed in the same region. They didn't go to any Tazaryach. If you look at the first century writings, you don't see anybody saying that the Jews are in Tazaryach. We need to go teach them the gospel. Because Tazaryach is a made-up term. Now watch this. Watch this for everybody who wants to have a reasoning. In the first century, the Torah was only known by the people that's connected within the Jewish communities in the first century. Because remember, they didn't know a New Testament. They only knew a Torah, and the Torah was codified in the first century. So nobody would have been all over the world practicing Torah because the laws weren't codified yet. So that's why underground in the second century, you start seeing the dietary laws. They stop eating catfish, stop eating pork. You see it in northern parts of Israel and southern parts of Israel. They're following Torah. Now, watch this now. Now, watch this. If they're following Torah, I'm saying to you, nobody else could be practicing Torah in Africa, in America, because in the 8th century, when they had the Torah, they didn't have, I'm sorry, the 8th century BC, they did not have a Torah. So even if they were transporting or moving around from 70 AD, they wouldn't have known the New Testament either, because there was no New Testament in the first century. There were books and letters scattered all over the place in different communities. There was no set New Testament until Irenaeus tried to have 22 books codified. So again, we didn't have that book available. We didn't even have Second Esdras available at the time. Second Esdras, we don't know Second Esdras until Jerome decided to put it as a apocryphal book. He put it in his listings of book, but he said it's not canon, but you should read it. That's what he said. You can read some of it. And the Second Esdras he's talking about is chapters 3 to 14, by the way, not 1 and 2 or 15 and 16, just for the record. So when we're careful now, we understand it's 70 AD. What are we looking for? We're looking for people that leave 70 AD, ended up in Africa, North Africa, and eventually migrated to West and Central Africa. I'm saying to you, you cannot prove that. It's all based on Luke 21:24, which you don't understand. So if you can't prove 70 AD that anybody left from that part of the world to go to West and Central Africa, you can't equate the slave trade to being part of prophecy, because you can't prove that the Jews were there to be taken as slaves. Now, when the Sephardic Jews after 1492 started to come down into Africa, we see them in Senegal, we see them in Luango, we see them in Mali. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do we have before 1492 examples of Jewish communities? No, we don't have any records of several Jewish communities. We might have Jews here and there, Berber Jews who are converted. but we don't have evidence of Jewish communities in West and Central Africa where the slaves were taken from that were actually, and even if we find specks of Jews, 1 and 2 Jews, less than probably 100, those people weren't Jews. They weren't slaves. I'm sorry, they weren't slaves. They were sleeping with African kings' daughters to be aligned with the slave trade so they could help to be the middleman to make money off the slave trade. That's what they were doing. They weren't the slaves. So this is why there's a conflict now when African Americans claim it, because there's no evidence of the people in West and Central Africa being actual Jews, those millions. It makes no sense. Now, does any Hebrew Israelite want to challenge me on Hebrew Israelism because it's dying? It's on a slow death right now. That whole thing with 70 AD and Rudolph Windsor proved that they went into West and Central Africa. And you can't tell me the Igbo tribe, the Akan and the Ashanti and all that stuff, because you can't tell me, show me an African tribe that does circumcision like how Hebrews do circumcision. Show me. I would love to see it. Show me an African tribe that's doing circumcision like how you guys used to do it. Show me. Even the Igbo on the 8th day, the umbilical cord is what's the most important thing about circumcision. Did you know that, family? The umbilical cord is the most important thing to the Igbo. Let me get the Igbo. Let me get my source right now. I'll show y'all. See if y'all don't believe me. Let me go to the Igbo Cyber China. I keep putting this article in the chat. Y'all don't want to read it because y'all don't like to contradict or deal with facts when it comes to your belief. The Igbos, 30,000 are out of 60 million are claiming, hey, we're Jews. But guess what, family? They don't believe in the New Testament. They don't believe in Jesus. So why are you trying to align with people who don't believe in Jesus and you believe in Jesus? That don't make no sense. Let's take a look at this article right here. Circumcision. Let me do every week I show it. I'm gonna drill it in y'all heads. Stop saying African people are following the Torah and they make these claims. They don't believe as you do. They don't talk the way you do. They are doing a whole different thing. Lemba Jews aren't the real deal either. I'll get to Lemba in a minute. Yes, I do. I believe he's a real person. Circumcision. Probably the argument that is used the most to show as proof of a Jewish origin of Igbo people is the fact that they circumcise their infant males. Unfortunately, what they forgot to mention is the fact that circumcision on the 8th day is not universal in Igbo land. There are places like Afikpo where it could be done as late as what? The teenage years. Why y'all leave that out? But when it was done in Igbo land, the delay was typically 1 to 8 days after birth, not necessarily 8 days. The delay of both the circumcision and the naming of the child in Igbo culture was done mainly because of the high infant mortality rate in the days before colonialism, and that practice was shared among many African groups. Hold on. There is no covenant whatsoever mentioned when the rite is done, and the foreskin is not even preserved, as it is often is in the Jewish rite. Furthermore, the burial of the umbilical cord actually has far more significance than, listen to this. Furthermore, the burial of the umbilical cord has far more significance than the circumcision. And actually represent a covenant between the child and Allah, the earth deity. You don't know you have an earth deity named Allah in Judaism, as well as the ancestors. Furthermore, they also intentionally leave out that both male and female circumcision was a part of the traditional society. Which one of y'all women out there talking about the Igbo say that? Yeah, they're going to cut your clitoris off. Keep talking if you want to be an Igbo Israelite. Go to Igbo Israelite. Unfortunately, female circumcision is one aspect of the tradition that's still being practiced to this day, with figures estimated that nearly half of women reportedly still doing it. Female genitalia cutting in southern urban and peri-urban Nigeria. This is not Garfield talking. Come on, family. Cut it out. It's not Garfield talking, man. This is the facts on the ground. Now, which one of y'all want to press the link and get the ball rolling? Damn, Garfield, laugh a lot, but he telling the truth. Come on, y'all women. All y'all women talking about the Igbo Jews. I can't wait for one of y'all to tell me so I could send you over there so I could cut that clitoris off for you. They could circumcise you proper and show you how the Hebrews of Igbo land do it right. How the Igbos do it. Anybody else? Okay, my brother said the Limba are Jews too. Let me get to that. I gotta agree with the Rasta guy right here. Let me bring up this right here. Bring up Keynote. And let me bring up let me bring up something that I brought up earlier. Okay, here we go. He said the Limba, right? Let me get the Limba for my brother. Don't take my word for it, because there's a debate going on between the Limba and Tadar Parfit. And I'm gonna show you something that's funny with the hypocrisy. And Chris Isaac, you gonna agree with me with your fake profile. You're gonna agree with me today. Watch. You're gonna agree with Garfield today. If anybody who is an African American or black person in the West says that the Igbos, the Limbas are Jews, right? Why are they considered Jews? Can anybody in the audience put in the chat why the Limba are called Jews? Why are the Limba called Jews? Because this is very, very, very interesting. The Limba are called Jews because of what specific reason? I would love for somebody to tell me. Because I'm curious. I want to learn. Me and my brother, Orthodox Moore, needs to have a debate, man. I've been putting this off for a while. But I want y'all to pay attention to this slide that he has that I screenshot. You see, what people do is they use the corpus of early Arabic sources, which is written in the 6th, 17th century. The Tariq al-Fatash and the Tariq al-Sudan both say, they talk about the Jews of Zoa Jews, right? Look at this right here, 6th century AD to Kokia in who really believes this stuff? People really believe that Jews were in Mali at 6th century? Why would we believe this though? Why? Because we believe in the Bible? Why would we believe that the Jews, Lam was in Mali, Kokia was in Mali, Tinderma was in Mali, the Walada community? Walada is not actually in Mali, actually. It's actually, all right, I'm not even going to go there with that. But all of this can easily be explained. Easily explained. Easily. But you ask about the, about this right here. Hold on a second. Let me get this for you. Right here. Chicana, Madivenka, and Tidar Parfit. Some Remba people inhabit the area around Great Zimbabwe. For those who don't know, Remba and Lemba is the same thing, so don't get too caught up into that. Some of these Remba people claim Arab ancestry. Why are they claiming Arab ancestry? In addition to similar circumcision patterns and similar Goma names, Madivenga's arguments, hold on, let me make this bigger for the people. This is from my Rasta priest, Limba Jews are the real deal. So let's see if Garfield knows what he's talking about. Let's see if we could have, if all y'all are misinformation of ours and lies. So Chris, why watch me then? Why watch me? Because you know I have the truth and you're submitting to me because I'm your master teacher. That's why you are my #1 fan in my chat every week, because you know Garfield has that information. Now let's look at this carefully. And I show this every week. I show this. Listen. They're saying that the Remba are saying that they are Arab ancestry because why? They practice circumcision the way that Arabs do. And they have similar Goma names. Madivenga's argument leans closely, notes that like the Muslims, the Remba circumcise their sons between 7 and 15 instead of at infancy. Now, I don't know if that's true, but if it's true, ladies and gentlemen, that's a strong argument because it's not 8 days like the Jews. So if they're circumcising a covenant, it's more Islamic than Jewish. He maintains that the marriage and the dietary laws are not aligned with Jewish laws or Jewish practice, but with Muslim practice. The name of the Remba tribal groupings are actually what? Arabic and generally used by Muslims. Sadiqi, Hussein, Hamisi, Haji, Saidi. For him, the Remba descended from Muslims, at least in part. These Remba skilled in Minalmet were believed to be foreigners. They are believed to be the source of the right among the Venda, Soso, and Sangha. Not Garfield. Again. Very interesting. Nowhere is Madivenga clear in his advancement of his Muslim Remba thesis than in the abstract to his PhD thesis, chapter 2 identified and described vestiges of Muslim influence among the Varemba people in the southern interior, among whom traces of Islamic culture have survived. It concludes that the Semitic cultural traits among the Varemba are indeed Islamic and not Jewish, as some writers have suggested, and that these influences had a Southeast African origin. It also tentatively suggests that the Varemba may be distant descendants of the Muslims who got cut off from the coast by the Portuguese. Tudor Prophet has gone to great lengths to prove that the Remba are of Jewish origin, while Ephraim Chicano Manivenga has stood his ground that the said Jewish origin is fallacious. The loophole in the genetic proof, Prophet's seemingly greatest trump card, is that both Jews and Arabs, being cousins, share the same genetic configuration to the same levels found among the Remba. The said Kohanim model haplotype, Mr. Rasta priest, is shared by a number of tribes across that Middle East. Locally, Manivenga is supported by Pafisa Naithi, who says when a circumcised Moremba slaughters a beast, he faces east during the process. The man who slaughters the beast utters the following words: Bismillah itakabari, which means I slaughter in the name of God. God is the greatest. Bismillah. He's a Muslim. This procedure is clearly Islamic, driven by the zeal to unearth this tradition among the Remba Imposi. The current researcher found himself at the crossroads with local practice of the Lemba spiritual home. The tradition was strange even to the oldest surviving Remba. So, my brother, you saying that Lemba reals are the real Jews? How? How? Well, anyway, I just explained the Kohanim DNA, bro. Everybody is there. All right. Now, I'm glad Nikki Jones brought this up, right? This is something very important that people need to understand and be careful. And shout out to Abu that brought this to my attention that I overlooked for years. All right. Now, look at this carefully right here. Remember this, and I want y'all to participate with this audience. If somebody lives in South Africa, are we in a different time zone? We're called a sub-equatorial people. Am I correct? If you live somewhere that's, say for example, they call it sub-equatorial. Hold on there. Let me look up this real quick. Equatorial. Because I want to be scientific when I talk about it. Hold on. Where is it at? Wrong. Equatorial. All right. When you live in sub-equatorial places, right? you know that the time period that you worship is different. So say, for example, Jerusalem was in South Africa. It would mean that you would have to celebrate Passover in September because remember, it's a whole different time zone, a different time period. The summer, like in Australia, it's winter in Australia and it's summer over here. It's a different time zone. So when people say it's in Africa and they still try to keep it in April, you know they don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right? That's what I'll say to that. But Israel, as far as it being in Africa, I don't know what she means. I mean, if she's talking about as far as tectonic plate-wise, I'm good with that. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. Tariq, does anybody want to respond to what I said? You could come on the channel. The link is at the top and could ask questions. I give you 2 minutes to speak uninterrupted. I speak for 2 minutes. You speak for 2 minutes. We could go back and forth 5 rounds. So anybody who wants to come on, click the link at the top and you could challenge what I'm saying. Nobody's scared of Garfield. I'm just a regular guy. All right. All right. Let's deal with Tariq Nasheed and the beef with the Jamaicans. Tariq Nasheed, what you want to do?
Hurricane Melissa is still terrorizing Jamaica, and some Black Americans are still there, along with other people from other parts of the world. But the one thing that is consistent is the back and forth between the Jamaican community and the Black American community. And Jamaicans are not afraid to say what's on their mind.
To all the Americans down there, Black Americans in the hotel and the resorts, who talking shit about the workers and about Jamaica. As soon as the airport opens, y'all go home. Go home. Go home. Jamaicans didn't call y'all down there. Y'all know a storm was coming. A hurricane was coming. A whole of 10 days. Y'all knew this. Y'all have a chance to go home. You chose to stay. Then y'all talking shit, talking about food, and talking about Jamaicans treat us this way. And look what we eating for breakfast. Going on America for breakfast.
Now, this lady is definitely upset. Of course, Jamaica has lost a lot of ground with some of the power and much of the destruction that has taken place because of Hurricane Melissa. This is an act of God. But of course, when you have these back and forths, people on both sides will get offended and then paint people with a broad brush. And so many Black Americans are clapping back with a vengeance.
Keep your money. Don't go support them. Do not support them. Keep your money, save it, start your own business. When they come here and open businesses, you don't have to beg them for jobs. Create your own jobs and hire your own people. Black Americans need to start doing what other nation of people are doing. Because when they come here, they hire their own people. They support their own people. Black Americans, we support everybody. We just open arms to everybody. Black Americans put a lot of immigrants on, made them rich, made them famous, and now those same immigrants are giving you their butt to kiss. So when are Black Americans going to learn to stop supporting them?
Now, here you have a brother that is saying, listen, stay out of Jamaica, stay out of Africa. I do want to bring up a point that's very clear. Not all Black Americans and not all Jamaicans think alike. There are many Black Americans out there who understand that Jamaica story is very important to the diaspora world, to the Black world. And of course, you have brothers and sisters, despite what people want to admit, cleaning up there. That's right. They spent their money going to these resorts. And not only are they not complaining, they are helping clean up, as you can see in the background.
Now, you have the bleach walkers, the Jamaicans in the U.S. talking about, oh, Black Americans are ungrateful and disrespectful. Well, those Black Americans that gave their time to clean up Jamaica did more for Jamaica than these Jamaicans that's in the U.S., than these Jamaicans that's in Canada, because they're not planning on flying home no time soon, even when it's safe to fly back. They're not going to contribute to none of the cleanup. But yet they're on here yapping, especially the bleach walkers.
Now, of course, this isn't what's being publicized. Now, I will admit, I have seen videos of other instances of possible Black Americans not acting in the best way. And I must say, if it was me, I would have an understanding that Jamaica is going through a tough time. But of course, we have some people who are not understanding that, and some of them are going overboard, not acting considerate or even passionate about their situation. And then again, making unfair demands on the workforce. Now, again, if you pay your money and you don't get what you're promised, I always believe the customer is always right. But again, that's with context, understanding the wider context. And of course, unfortunately, we're going to have some of the brothers and sisters in Jamaica who are just needing help. They just need support. They're not even caught up in this Black American versus Jamaican stuff. To be honest, most people are not caught up in the Jamaican versus Black American stuff. If I were to go to Jamaica or to go to any other place, people would just treat me as, I'm trying to present myself. And if I'm a good person or a nice person, people will more or less be concerned about that. But in this particular case, we had a young lady who was in Jamaica, and she pulled up to Tariq Nasheed's TikTok stream, and she had a particular ask.
I am okay. Not everyone is safe, but I am okay as it regards to like safety and that kind of stuff. Don't mind what I'm wearing right now. I was just trying to entertain to see what I can raise, but it's not going well so far. So I was trying to like add a few persons and ask if there is anyone that can donate to our PayPal so we can get some assistance. As you can see, there is no light. I'm currently using a candle and there's no water. It's kind of really hard out here. But
okay, thank you. You got to go to some of the Jamaican spaces, dear.
Now, I don't know where the hell she thought she was or who she was asking, but she asked the wrong damn person for some help. And of course, Tariq Nasheed was ready to deliver the answer that we know she was going to get.
No disrespect. No disrespect. Yeah, this ain't really the platform for that. Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a lot of support because we got an issue over here with a lot of Jamaicans who've been over here crapping on us. So yeah, no disrespect. No disrespect, but yeah, a lot of Jamaicans have been crapping on Black Americans over this hurricane thing. So yeah, you need to go to some of them spaces and holler at them. You need to holler at some of them. Because yeah, they done told us to stay out Jamaica, stay out Jamaican business. That's what they told us, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to respect their wishes. They told us, get out of Jamaica, get out of Jamaican business, Yankee. You Yankee Black Americans, you are entitled. You need to get away, go home.
You know what's crazy though? He goes to Jamaica on vacation all the time and pay protection money to them dudes in Montego Bay, right? Now, what if one of them niggas is watching you right now? Tariq, don't play this game in America like you this fly dude and try to call out Jamaicans just to be a race beta when you don't have you're like one of the worst folks out here. You have the ability to lead, but yet still you want to divide. This shit is disgusting. Jamaicans, some of them are the most ignorant people when it comes to culture too. Jamaicans, y'all not getting off the hook too. Y'all participate with this dude and be buddy with him, but he bunning out Jamaicans at the same time. He go to Jamaica, y'all, pay protection money to be in the area. And now you're going to try to talk about F Jamaica. Well, he's not saying F Jamaica, but he's no disrespect, but they don't want to know. Yeah, that's one person. That's two person. That's not the whole culture. Jamaicans love coming here. We love this. You always got bullshit people within your culture. So those Jamaicans that said that, they may have. So what? You going to hold it against all Jamaicans? That shit is crazy, man. I can't wait for him to go back to Jamaica. I can't wait. Go back to Mobay and play this video for them with this bullshit. Go ahead. You're going to pay protection money double next time because you talking this shit. Shit is crazy.
Stay out of Jamaican business. All right. All right. Well, they told us to stay out of Jamaican business. So we're just going to respect the wishes. No disrespect, ma'am. Yep. They were telling us don't come over there. We're too entitled. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Cool. All right, yeah. So you're gonna have to go to their lives Go there and you ask them, ask those Jamaicans, where they at? All these Jamaicans that sit over here talking greasy, well, y'all need to be donating to your people.
Now, he says something that's important here. You know, hey, your people have been disrespecting our people, and why don't you go and ask the people in your community? Now, let me just say this. My heart goes out to that lady, especially if she does need help. If it's not a scam, I feel sorry for her. I don't believe that, you know, she's one of the individuals going out and hating on Black Americans. Again, most people don't even live their lives, you know, going back and forth with diaspora wars online for the most part. I mean, some people do, but most people don't. Like, I live in Uganda. Most people are not online talking about Black Americans. They don't even really know the history of Black Americans. I mean, they know about LeBron James and Beyonce and stuff like that, but most people don't know you enough to really be hating on you. But of course, when you see online and it goes back and forth, all of a sudden people will characterize or mischaracterize you as a part of everybody else. And this is what happens. It forces people to say, stop asking us for help. If your people really care about you, why are they not helping you? Woo! And this is kind of what I've noticed dealing with a lot of the brothers and sisters of other communities outside of, let me just say, people like the Ethiopians, Eritreans, Somalians, but most of the sub-Saharan brothers and sisters and then some of the Caribbeans. I noticed that we all get have these little diaspora back and forths. But when it comes time to depending on, their own communities, it's tough. And this is a criticism that I see even in Uganda. Uganda has a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity. And I noticed that a lot of people in the Black world, especially in Africa, they may get online and fight other groups and stuff like that. But when it comes to depending on their own community for something, they just have a low trust environment. And you will find out quickly that a lot of people in the diaspora or in the other Black communities really have a hard time liking each other or even appreciating each other. And again, at times, Black Americans, we can have that same issue too, but it is more pronounced in some of the other communities, especially living in Africa. And especially if the country is really, really poor, you will see it. The dangerous thing that's occurring now is if Black Americans start to have a similar mentality than some of the other people do, it's really, really going to have a ripple effect amongst the diaspora. And I'm going to tell you why. For the most part, the people in these other communities, they typically operate with a survivalism mentality, meaning that it's all about them and then you're second. Okay. So African Americans or Black Americans, or even those Blacks in the diaspora, operate from a more opportunity based mindset. So, for example, if somebody like, this lady in Jamaica, she needs help, typically, they will want to come to where the Black Americans are, because Black Americans are people in the diaspora, have money and are willing to help. Now, if you flip it on to them and ask them for help, you're most likely not going to get it. Okay. And you can't get anything from them, but they will definitely come to you, entitled, looking for help. All right. This is not everybody, but it does happen. So the problem that some of these other groups have is if that Black Americans start to develop that same level of animosity or same level of survivalism mentality that they have, it's bad. It's bad news, because now what will happen is that African Americans will start, being more or less like seat holders and gatekeepers and, gatekeeping their own communities, gatekeeping their own money, similar to what other groups do. And this really is a bad look for the whole Black world, to be honest, because we're kind of all at the bottom anyway, and we really do need to help each other. But this is necessary, guys. This is necessary, because what this forces is reciprocity. Listen, if you want assistance from our community, what are you bringing to us? All right. Where is the value that you're bringing to us? It's the same thing if you live in Jamaica, if you live in Uganda, you're going to have to be bringing value to them. You can't just go and ask, Ugandans for money, or you can't just ask different people for money under any circumstance. You would have to bring them some level of value. There's a big time saying in Uganda called, "What are you adding on us?" or "What are you adding on me?" And the reality is that this lady would need to get the assistance from this same community, because when you turn and then you look at Jamaicans in America, in New York City, you see Jamaicans in the UK, you see all of this development about how good they're doing, how successful they are. Okay, well, since you're a Jamaican, then your community needs to step up and provide for you so that you can get what you need. It wouldn't be our responsibility. And to be honest, that is actually the right thing to do. The Jamaicans have the money to help her. They have a lot of money. They have all sorts of things. And what it forces is for you to take care of your own group and police your own group. And then when you want to work with another group in the Black world, you're forced to build value for that particular group. You're not coming in, being a burden on somebody else's community. And unfortunately, if you're down on hard times and something that's happened to you, and I can understand that, but you're coming in as a burden to somebody else. And I can tell you, as a Black American that lives in Africa, I cannot be a burden onto somebody else. Nobody wants to hear that, I'm having a bad day, or somebody stole all the stuff out of my house, or I can't do what I need to do. Nobody wants to hear that, and nobody has time for anything bad that happens to me, because to them, I'm an American, and to them, I need to produce, and to them, I already have it. So what am I, asking them for something for? It doesn't make any sense. Well, this is going to also probably be the case moving forward. If you're somebody from another community and your people can't help you, why are you asking me? And the reason why I'm saying this is because we could never go to your people and get anything. Woo! If you look at what's going on with Ghana, what's going on with, the year of return, it's always been about the diaspora, Black Americans included, Caribbeans, and some of the people in the Black UK all over the world. It's all about what you.
Stupids, we know you come on for voice your opinion. Get it out the way. Let's go.
Give me a second, I come.
All right. Mika, go ahead.
No, I was saying, I saw a video with this lady after she went on vacation with a Black American, and they knew a storm was coming. And this lady talking about where my breakfast at.
I saw the video. So
she over there arguing with the man, and I'm like, the nerve of her.
Paper bag, you give me food in a paper bag.
Like, come on now. And now, we all got, all Jamaicans, they got attitude and blah, 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 blah. Yo, it's crazy.
Go ahead. Hold on, the stupids. Mika, you finished?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Stu.
All right. You see that girl who came on, that in bomb blast? He should have bomb blasted her, right? Because that's a scammer. Half of the people don't have no internet or don't have any power. But she find her phone time to be going online e-begging, right? E-begging. So we don't have any lights, we don't have any water, and I'm trying to e-begging. The amount of scammers popping up now, they can't count. The amount of everybody say, I have an organization, they can't count. But on top of it, she didn't know Tariq, so she just going around page to page to page. Anybody who's online, she e-begging too. She don't study who that person is. So sometimes I have to look out for scammers and be careful of what they're presenting. Now, this fallout is a result of Black persons who many Jamaicans thought were Black Americans and guests from America, especially the one who they said came from Bahamas and she was a Black American who went there during a hurricane and then was complaining about the food, realizing that it was a Category 5 hurricane. What did they expect? Did they expect a full staff? No. But that's what it started from. Because she spoke like an American, she sounded like a black American, but we later found out that she was from the Bahamas. People were mad.
Oh, you talking about the girl at the hotel who they talk about the food, the paper bag food. That's who you talking about, bro?
His thing got cut off.
Oh, so that's he's adding to the conversation. If it's that what he's saying, that's crazy. Because I thought that girl was I thought she was black, so she giving black Americans a bad name.
Yeah, but it's not only that. Is how is I think it may be a culture thing. Cause you know we Jamaican, we talk the way we want to talk, we talk how we want to talk, and that's just the culture. If you say something slick, we gonna say something slicker. So I don't know why. I don't know what the beef is, but it is what it is.
Cultures are going to beef with cultures. That's normal. It's just how you react to it. I think Tariq exploits the mindset of black Americans by trying to make them angry with Jamaicans. And then the same people who are on his channel is going to Jamaica on vacation. That shit is crazy. So I just think listen, there's good and bad people. There's good and bad people in every culture. You have some dog Jamaican, you have some dog American, you have dog European, you have dog Jewish people, you have dog in every culture. So you have good and bad. We just hope the good outdo the bad. And Jamaica right now is in a bad situation. There's a lot of I think Bounty Killer, I think DJ Khaled have a give back that's doing really good. Vibes Cartel, Beanie Man, a lot of them. And with us hope the country get all the help. It's gonna get the help. Tyrese, who is a black American, is taking $100,000 and going back to Jamaica, I think today. Yeah, so at the end of the day, everybody has supported. Nicki Minaj sent one big truck of food, and whoever is doing, they're doing their thing. Jamaica is gonna be just fine. Yeah. Jamaica has 2 million people over here. All Jamaicans need to do is set up an account and they'll say, yo, every Jamaican give $100. And they'll get all the money that they want. 2 million times 100, that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's 200 million right there, so or 400 million you collect and you give back to Jamaica and do what they have to do. And that's it. That's it. All you need to do, Bounty Killer got a good foundation down there. And I think DJ Khaled has a good thing that he's doing. I don't know a lot of the foundations in Jamaica. But I know
Spice doing something too.
Yeah, Spice is doing the damn thing. Sean Paul, I heard he's doing something. Somebody said, why Sean Paul give 50,000 US? That's all and give it back. I'm like, you don't know the man pockets. You're gonna add 50,000 US is a lot of money. So if that's what he has, that's what he has. Thank you. Massacre, all the artists who can give back. Don't try to outdo. You see, the beautiful thing is every Jamaican want to use this as a way to say, yo, man, I give back as an artist. So they're all gonna give money. Jamaica is gonna be fine.
Yes, they're gonna be better than how they was before.
Yeah, Jamaica is a competition right now as an artist. Cartel down there give away millions and people mad with him. I'm like, for what? He's doing what he need to do. It's a competition. Me as an artist do more than you. That's a good competition to have. Who is doing more for the country? But I just want to make sure that the money is going to the people and not to politicians' pockets. That's the most important thing. Because people are very scandalous.
Right.
Generators were sent. Generators were sent, and I heard the Prime Minister is saying he's deciding who should get it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So shout out to Maca Diamond, shout out to every artist that I know that's doing the do. Jamaica is gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. All right. Obi, you got something to add? Or are you good? Because I could move on to the final topic of the day. My sister wanted me to play this video, so let me play this video for her, just to let her know I had it in my Instagram saved from last week. I didn't play it right here. This one.
Her hair out by the roots. You put every sort of chemical on your hair to straighten it out, despite being so proud of being black. And then you wonder why you have alopecia. And then you guys fight all the time. And yet you wear massive hoop earrings, you wear weaves in your hair, you wear fake eyelashes, wear fake nails, okay? So let me give you advice. Let me turn this racist stream around into something positive. Okay, black women, listen up. Listen up. A black woman is speaking.
In case you've ever wondered what it looks like for a former it girl of the far right to be put out to pasture, now you know. Everything about this video reeks of desperation. Because speaking as a political content creator myself, who has built her own sizable audience by being interesting and intelligent and having something of actual value to say, I know a desperate appeal for attention from a person with no actual talent when I see one. For anyone that doesn't recognize her, by the way, this is the same girl that went viral a few years ago for saying the N-word on TikTok and then went on Piers Morgan to do the same exact thing. She had a brief moment of fame on the far right thanks to that little stunt, although her 15 minutes really turned out to be more like 5.5 after the racist judge she was attempting to appeal to realized that she has a mixed race child. And I'm being very intentional here by not using her name, by the way. There is nothing that this woman would love more than for someone with an audience on the left like me to send our followers over to engage with her content. So I won't be doing that. I shared that first clip with you so that you'd have context for this next clip I'm about to show you. In this next clip, she's attempting to explain why she did an entire live stream in blackface. And in doing so, she accidentally gives the rest of us the perfect clip to show to any centrist or moderate conservative still attempting to hand wave away casual racism as not that deep. Because as she makes it very clear in the clip, it is, in fact, that deep for people like her.
I want to explain the method behind the madness and perhaps what my long-term goals are. You know when you make a hot, like you boil a lot of water because you want to make tea or whatever. Well, you have to temper the pot before you do that. So you put water in slowly, that's warmer and warmer and warmer until that glass jar is tempered. And until it's tempered, you cannot pour the boiling hot water into it or it will crack the pot. So what me and several other people do is we say the worst things possible in the most wild, outlandish ways possible. When we have a leader that has all the messaging that we want, instead of people digging up his past and, oh, he said this racist thing, and oh, did you hear that he said the N-word once? The people won't care because they're so used to hearing the craziest things ever that a leader with our aligned views will be able to get into elected position of power. The mass deportations will not seem so shocking if you have rhetoric like mine out there because the people will become used to hearing that.
Anyway, in conclusion, best of luck to that talentless hack as she learns the hard way why you should never put all of your metaphorical eggs in the basket of a movement that hates women. I'd say we'll miss you as you slowly fade into your pathetic washed up obscurity, but we both know that would be a lie, so I'll just say good riddance instead.
What? Black women, you tear your hair.
You seem off-white. Yeah, more like white chocolate. Something about you, there's something, your essence is very black. I don't know if we want to give you these benefits. So this African-American woman, black woman, named Donna Briggs.
Hello everyone, it's Donna Briggs. Donna Briggs. Donna Briggs.
Went through lightning treatments and surgeries to become a white woman. You got to see the difference. Look at her on the left side, she's a black woman. On the right side, she's a white woman. I'm sorry. She looks way better black. My goodness. What? She actually f***ed up. She thought she was going to upgrade, but she downgraded herself from self-hatred. Now, if she would have looked better as a white woman, I would have said it. I'd say, nah, she actually looks better as a white woman. Maybe that's your true f***ing nature, but you f***ed up. And even in the photo, she looks like she f***ed up. She's like, oh, shit. Yeah, what a shame. And you know what's going to be really f***ed up? If she doesn't get the benefits of being a white woman. If people go, I don't know. What if she doesn't know how to act like a white woman? What if she's still a black woman internally? That transracial shit, if it would have looked good, cool, but that self-hatred is a mother because you f***ed up. Sammy Sosa tried it. Didn't look right. Looked better dark, you know? I know. Maybe she was watching the Michael Jackson video. It's black, it's white, it's white, it's black, it doesn't matter.
Yo, that's crazy. Last video of the day right here.
Homosexual bishop took his time and blasphemed the Bible. He said Jonathan and David was homosexual lovers.
David and Jonathan were married. They were a same gender loving couple. And this is the piece that we often miss about their relationship. There are many references in the text to the fact that they were sexually active.
He said Ruth and Naomi was the first lesbian couple in the Bible.
Ruth and Naomi were in a same-sex lesbian relationship. God sent Ruth and Naomi.
In the Bible chapter, and verse that says Jonathan and David were lovers, homosexual lovers. You got to give Bible chapter and verse that says Ruth and Naomi was the first lesbian couple. You got to give Bible that say what you say.
That's it. There is no thing in the Bible that says marriage biblically is between one man and one woman. That is not biblically accurate.
You blaspheme.
That's right.
Show me one holy, sanctified homosexual in the Bible.
That's right.
Keith McQueen is a so-called pastor and the founder of Powerhouse Church of Indianapolis, a ministry known for being inclusive, particularly to members of the LGBTQ community. McQueen identifies as a gay pastor, which sets his church apart from many traditional Christian churches that don't support this lifestyle. McQueen stated that his church was established with the mission of being a place of empowerment, healing, and restoration, which seeks to foster a welcoming environment for individuals from all walks of life, especially those who he claim are marginalized by mainstream churches due to their sexuality or what they identify as. He also claimed his teachings revolve around love, grace, and the idea that God's acceptance transcends human judgments, including on matters of sexual orientation. He emphasizes that salvation and the Christian faith are open to everyone, regardless of their personal struggles or identity. His interpretation of the Bible focuses heavily on inclusivity, personal healing, and the belief that spiritual gifts can manifest in anyone, irrespective of their sexuality. McQueen advocates for breaking away from traditional conservative dogmas that, in his view, marginalize people who are gay. McQueen has been the subject of controversy, especially among traditional Christian circles that hold firm to the belief that living a sexual lifestyle opposite of what the Bible teaches is a sin. Many Christian leaders criticize his teachings and claim that he misinterprets the Bible's teachings on same-gender relationships. McQueen, however, maintains that his reading of the scriptures reflects a God who loves and accepts all people, including those in his community. A significant controversy that has followed McQueen involves the clash between his inclusive church and conservative Christian groups, who view his ministry as contradicting biblical teachings. He often faces backlash for challenging widely accepted interpretations of scriptures related to sexuality, and his role as a gay pastor has become a flashpoint for debates within the broader Christian community. In one of his controversial YouTube programs, Keith McQueen sparked outrage across the internet when he shared a deeply provocative interpretation of biblical relationships. During the broadcast,
homosexual bishop took his time and blasphemed the Bible. He said Jonathan and David was homosexual lovers.
David and Jonathan were married. They were a same gender loving couple. And this is the piece that we often miss about their relationship. There are many references in the text to the fact that they were sexually active.
He said Ruth and Naomi was the first lesbian couple in the Bible.
Ruth and Naomi were in a same-sex lesbian relationship. God.
All right,
I heard
so
before.
I've never heard Ruth and Naomi.
You know, I heard some funny stuff before with the man and sleep and but I never heard this other things. This is wow.
Here we have it. This is what the Bible says. The story in summary: Naomi, an Israelite woman from Bethlehem, immigrates to Moab with her husband and 2 sons during a famine. This is in Ruth 1:1-2. Her sons marry a Moabite woman, Orpah and Ruth. All 3 men die, leaving the woman widowed. Naomi decides to return to Judah. Orpah stays in Moab, but Ruth famously pledges loyalty to Naomi. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Ruth 1:16-17. Back in Bethlehem, Ruth gleans grain to support Naomi. Ruth later marries Boaz, a relative of Naomi's late husband, through the Levirate redemption custom. Ruth bears a son, Obed, who becomes grandfather of King David. There's nothing. Ruth, the younger and foreigner, binds herself to Naomi, the elder and native Israelite. I don't know why would they. I don't know. The story celebrates women supporting each other across ethnic and generational lines.
So does it have anything to do with sex?
Nah, not that I could see. You know, I would see.
Ah!
Man, what was the other one he said? He said David and Jonathan. David and Jonathan. Jonathan. Lovers. Let's see what it says. All right. It's emotionally intense, deeply covenantal, and sometimes interpreted as romantic, though the text itself never explicitly described a sexual relationship. The soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Then Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan made David swear again by his love for him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. They kissed one another and wept with one another until David exceeded. What does that mean? Exceeded. They kissed one another and wept with one another until David exceeded. Oh, man. Damn. I don't know, man. I got to look up that word exceeded. Then, I am distressed for you, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant have you been to me. Your love to me was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. Why say that? What? But why? What is the Bible writer doing here? Why are you saying that?
The love of
your love to me was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. What did that mean? What is that?
Y'all brotherly love, y'all love. Y'all men is.
Oh man, oh man, oh no. They say his grief for Jonathan is unusually personal and enduring, suggesting an exceptional emotional attachment. They're being nice. Wow. Bruh. I don't know. It sounds like Horace and his brother. Yes, it does. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, it's like I'm researching King James, and I found primary sources where he's kissing men on the lips. Now, that was allowed in his time period.
Right.
But in some of the examples, he's grabbing the dude's necks and sucking on their lips and all. Like, what are you doing, King James?
Yeah, because I understand back in them days, I mean,
No, I don't understand, because King James and his daddy had issues with men and men. Both him and his daddy. So he got it from his daddy. But at the end of the day, I mean, David, what is this exceeded? We need to look up this exceeded right here. What is the scripture? Hold on. Let me bring it out on the screen. We need to get into this exceeded argument. I heard what's his name talk about this. 1 Samuel 20. And by the way, if David was a homosexual, I really don't care. That's his business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But it's the people who hold to the Bible now ready to get defensive and say, no, it don't mean this and it don't mean that. 2041. So let's look it up. Let's go to Bible Hub, because Bible Hub will go into a little Hebrew and dig a little deeper for us. So let me share the screen. Somebody said, I can't believe none of the Israelites put up a real challenge with Garfield. What are they going to put up with? None of them have done the research. Ask Chris. Chris will tell you he in the chat. He here every day. He don't want to come on stage. He got his reasons.
I want to see that debate with you and Daniela. I don't know what's
that's going to happen. I ain't worried about that debate. Sure. All right. So it said let's go to the KJV. And as soon as the lad was gone, David arose out of a place toward the south and fell on his face to the ground and bowed himself 3 times, and they kissed one another and wept with one another until David exceeded. Now let's look at what the JPS says. The JPS, where the JPS at? JPS. Where's the JPS? JPS right here. Okay, until David exceeded. Let's look at what the Septuagint says. Wept for each other for a great while. Let's look at what the Hebrew says.
In my big.
Though David wept more. Together though David wept more. To grow up to become great. What does that mean? Then he and Jonathan kiss a man as an individual, friend, companion, to weep. I don't understand that at all. No, sir. Prostrate in front of the man, face down. What is going on? Let me see if there's any positions held by these scholars here. Let's look at what is going on here. David. Kiss was a customary greeting to Pharaoh in the ancient Near East. I don't know, man. I don't know. Are we, I don't know. Are we jumping the gun? I mean, like, huh. And now when Meshibah, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was come unto David, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said, Meshibah, and he answered, behold thy servants, and they kissed. What does this mean? What are you talking about? Until David exceeded. Damn.
Exceeded. Let the definition.
What does exceeded mean in a regular dictionary? Let me look it up. Let me look up what exceeded mean. Because this is exceeded. Exceeded means really stands out and deserves unpacking. The text, let me see. It means to be great, to grow, to increase, to be mighty. So David grow, what increased? To make great, to do something great. So David exceeded means David was
one another to and
his emotion grew great. Like what that word don't fit right there.
And the kissing and stuff with it don't go right with it too.
That sounds like foreplay, yo. Let me stop before y'all cuss me out. Before y'all cuss me out, yo. Before y'all cuss me out. Oh man, yeah. Captain Tazaryach said he kissed the man right here. Let me play it for y'all. Let me play that right here real quick too.
See?
No, actually, that's in my.
Why you had to say anything? Now it's in there. It's in the universe. You can't even let it go away.
Ah, man, but you know it's crazy. You know what though? We don't understand the culture because people kiss each other in the culture, and that's what they do. King James kissing people till he started liking it and throwing his tongue in and all that stuff and all that nasty stuff. And I don't know. Yep. It's really jealous for batty boys. David was a freak of the week. Listen, I'm not making the claim. I'm just saying, based on the definition of words, exceeded to be great, to increase. For what to increase? What increase?
Come on, y'all know Europeans are freaks, so come on, King James.
Oh man, I don't know, family. Y'all could figure that one out. I'm gonna let that one go, and I'm gonna go watch my football game. I got my Knicks playing tonight, so I should have a good night tonight. Good sleep, good to go. But I don't know, man. I don't know. The Bible says he repented from adultery, not homosexual acts. But but Isaac, Chris, wouldn't him with a man homosexual, wouldn't it be considered adultery? Yeah, Englishmen kiss each other too. So I mean, not in my culture. See, but my culture is so homophobic, as they say, or anti this gay stuff that when you see two men kiss, the first thing come to your mind. This is why when I brought up about under thy thigh with what you call it, a lot of people were upset when I brought that up, but I'm about to do something about that whole article too about under my thigh, that Yarrick oath. Here we go. Let me play this King James stuff real quick.
One day you could play that one where you in a conversation with Tazaryach. Well, under the thighs.
Yeah, he didn't have no solution for that one. He just, you know what? Let me leave that shit alone. Oh, here go right here. Let me play this right here for y'all. This is me and Priest Daniel having a conversation about King James kissing and all that stuff. And yeah, looking back into this, I would say this. This is what I would correct myself and say. It's a part of the culture, but King James took it too far because he was into that stuff.
Which one of the guys did? He went to jail for that, and one of them was what do you call it? Was exiled because of that. But what I'm saying though, what would be enough for you? Because there's a lot of insinuation, there's a lot of conjecture. What I'm saying though, I'm gonna put it this way: if Hashar and Daniel kissed each other on the mouth, if you kiss Tazaryach on the mouth, if you kiss Sarnetta on the mouth.
Hey, Garfield, don't even put my name in that, man. What is you doing?
Because it's gonna come like I'm being anti-Israelite. I have to put a
don't put my name in nothing like that, man. Come on.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me take Daniel out of it. Let's say that Mr. A and Mr. B was kissing on the mouth in public. And he didn't do it one time, he did it twice, he did it 3 times, 4 times. Am I saying that he's not doing that in private? I mean, what should I draw from that? I don't kiss men. England in 1500, kissing men was not the norm. If it's the norm, in my party boy, that's what we're going to take it as.
Yeah, I was incorrect right here. It was actually a norm. It was actually I don't know if it was a norm for in general, but for King James, it was the norm. Definitely was the norm. No comments? Everybody quiet?
Yeah, maybe it was the norm back then, but did they take it any further? Cause was that normal too?
I'm about to do something right now. Let me save this profile, this file right here, because this Tariq oath with the yeah, we gonna deal with this. We definitely gonna deal with this. We're gonna deal with this. Genesis 32 verses 25. Yeah, we gonna definitely take care of that. Get into a PDF document. Here we go. We're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks, that Abraham stuff. And shout out to Chuck Morgan because he translated where the story possibly comes from. This whole Tariq oath stuff. So shout out to Chuck Morgan in the building. We're going to take care of this stuff. My man Yoshi on Clubhouse disagrees. But we're going to do the Tariq oath. What you saying, sis?
What Chuck Morgan did? What you talking about?
This whole under my thigh stuff.
Oh, when did this happen?
Yeah, he translated something out of the Akkadian, man, because we found out where the Bible. You see, every story in the Bible has a root in the ancient Near East. They don't have nothing original, but we couldn't find where that under my thigh stuff come from. So we found a document. Well, I did. That talks about them grabbing penises. So that's where the author of the stuff got it from. The Tariq oath. That's where they got it from. So the Tariq is under my thigh. It translates into English, but it has to do with the root. I think it has something to do with the balls, the generation of the balls in the root. That's why they grab the root, because it's talking about the root of the person where they come from. So it's an oath. But they're grabbing it because they say, you know what? I'm holding a secret, but this is an oath between me and you.
Okay, I got a question. Why is it okay for men to grab, but when women grab, we got to get our hands cut off?
Yeah, because that's where the energy of the man come from.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me see what happened. Yeah. Let me see if I could find it. Hold on a second. Yeah, I think yeah, in the ancient Near East, placing a hand under the thigh signified more than a submission or reverence. It invoked the covenant, fertility, and divine witness embodied in the male organ, the very sign of God's promise to Abraham. This act was a sacred and binding oath common to broader Mesopotamian Mediterranean traditions that tied virility. Yes. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely it's a symbol of offspring and covenantal power. So grabbing underneath a man's thigh could be under his thigh per se, not his balls. But I would say, because even if I touch under your thigh, that is close to my private area. So it's a secret. So I think it's an oath, and it has to do with the regeneration organ. That's what I think. If people want to say it doesn't say balls itself, I would say it does refer to the balls 100%, in my opinion. But to some people, they might see it differently. Yep, they might see it differently. But anyway, I'm out of here. Is the debate about King James with you and Priest Daniela? It's official, but we don't have a date. We don't have a date. Yeah, but I'm good though. I'm good. Hey Hassan, since you're here, are you guys if Paul is an idolater, are you guys gonna throw Paul out the New Testament and just be OT only, or Jesus words only? I think that's the direction where y'all are going, man. I think that's the direction where y'all going. You know, it's very interesting. One day you will learn the truth. Wait patiently. Nah, don't disrespect Priest Daniela. Even if we disagree, I don't want nobody disrespecting the man. So Asiatic, I don't appreciate that. He said, laugh or no, that's not what. Hold on, that's not what we're saying, nor is that the direction we're going in. Yeah, I think I didn't like that conversation with Joel. Joel wasn't himself. I don't know. He's different on an audio app. So it seems like he's not the debater I think he is. You see, a lot of people could debate on that. Like, I'm not a good audio app debater because I can't deal with people being disrespectful and talking over. And I'm not an Hebrew Israelite that's used to that on the street corners or whatever. But see, like Hassan, I could have a conversation with Hassan because he allows you to speak. And when you're finished, he'll beat you up or whatever happens. But Joel didn't seem like himself in that conversation at all. And Ash looked like oh my God, he looks like a robot on YouTube. Some guys need to stay on the audio app, man. Y'all better stay away from Genesis on YouTube. I tell y'all that.
Look like a robot. What that mean?
He does look like Ash looked like a robot. Like he didn't have a clue. Then they asked him a question that Joel asked before. It's like, do you agree with this verse? And he said something totally different than what Joel said. I'm like, oh my God, they died. And then it's on replay. So it's not like you could destroy the information and hide the video. Hassan and them got it up, and he got it up. So both of them got the videos up, and he looks crazy. You can't. This is what's wrong when you have a camp, man. You got to know what each other teach and stand on it. And especially while this person started, I don't know if that was a good build. It was a build, but I don't know if I would call it good for them. You know what I'm saying? But my God, man, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Listen, y'all better stay away from Genesis, man. Genesis is just killing camps. Believers of the way got killed. Sons of Thunder got killed. And it seems like any camp that comes against them, what they do is try to throw Sikari in the mix. Like, yo, this and that. Let me show you a video what Genesis put up. Not Hassad, Hakka put up. And this is what I'm saying. I don't think Genesis is bad. I don't have nothing to say about them. Them brothers never disrespected me. I mean, one time Hakka threw me off his panel or whatever. But I want y'all to see this video that Priest posted up on his shorts. right? And I thought, and then ISUPK, they like to talk about gay stuff. They love this stuff. So now they said, let's have a conversation about Paul, right? Paul sacrificing to idols or whatever the conversation is, right? Now this is his response to the brother. Look at this guy, General Mahina.
He sat there learning from a man who was going home every night, getting a deal.
Now this ain't got nothing with the topic, you know. All they asked him, he gonna teach me that Paul was wrong. He didn't even know Sakari was wrong. Is that your logics?
He sat there learning from a man who was going home every night, getting a dildo in his rectum where the sun does not shine. And what he's going to teach me that Paul is wrong? He didn't know that Sakari was wrong. He didn't know. Paul was around 2,000 years ago. He knows that Paul is wrong. He don't know. He's sitting next to Sakari. You couldn't see the way Sakari was when he would sit down that his butt was sore. You couldn't tell Sakari was sitting on a sore butt. But yet you can tell that the Apostle Paul is wrong 2,000 years ago.
What?
But you didn't see how gingerly. Ooh.
Look at his mouth. Look at his mouth. Look at his mouth.
You didn't see how gingerly Sakari would sit down. You ain't see he had a butt pad to sit down on every night. You ain't see he had to sit down.
That dude is a weirdo, yo. And that shit wasn't even funny. That dude is a weirdo. All you had to do is answer about Paul. They're saying that we have a contention with Paul. Just respond. That's it. I don't know what they're talking about. I have no idea about the whole Paul issue with idolatry. They're saying you could sacrifice to the wrong animals or whatever. Maybe Hassan want to jump on and tell me what. I don't know what they're talking about. Ironically, that brother is the one who gave me the name.
Wow.
Oh, man. Yeah, Hassan used to be a part of ISUPK before he joined Sakari.
What happened?
Nah, but they're not in the group. So why are you trying to punish them by they are not in the group anymore? If there was in the group, then I would see that. But we have a question about Paul. Oh, you was in Sakari? Oh, you can't ask me that because Gorilla was doing X. That ain't got nothing to do with it. This is why, you see, being a part of a cult or a group, this is why me and Divine, like the other day, we had such a great conversation before Katazar messed it up. And Katazar brought up this book, right, about the Exodus.
Was this on Clubhouse?
Yeah, Clubhouse. Yeah. Me and him got into it again. He want to meet up and fight. You know, people want to fight over information. And it's sad because every time he brings up a conversation and he's proven wrong, he wants to meet up and fight. And this is why when you're in a cult, this is why I will say this to anybody who's an Israelite or whether they're part of the Nation of Islam. The government doesn't care for you. They don't fear you. You see, if white supremacy doesn't fear you, something is wrong with your teachings. There's nothing to fear about a Hebrew Israelite teaching. You said the white man is the devil. The Nation of Islam been saying it since 1930. They don't fear the Nation of Islam. I was a part of that. They don't fear it. They just know that you believe in a faith and you won't set up your group to come and try to overthrow the government. That's all they care about. This is why they're watching the new Black Panther Party. They're watching them white nationalists that act crazy and live in the woods. Those are the people they're watching. They don't care about none of y'all. Y'all believe in God. They know your limitations. They know what you do. If they're willing to give you permission to own guns, that alone should tell you we have no fear for you as a group. Period. It's nothing against them. If you want to go around and clean people up and have them live by the laws, more power. I try to live by the laws every day. Every day. Hey, what's up, Hugh Dixon? What up, bro?
Talking about?
I try to live by the laws every day. Every day I try to live by the laws. Laws of the land, laws of the Bible, laws of the Quran, laws, everything. Hey, listen, at one point when I was in the Nation of Islam, I tried to celebrate everything. I was trying to celebrate the Muslim holy days. I was trying to celebrate the Hebrew Israelite holy days, the Christian holy days, everything. Because it don't matter. Shit is crazy. But Hugh Dixon, what up, man? You late, bro. If they don't fear the Nation of Islam. But that's then they feared them because there was a fear of a rise of a black messiah. But today, they don't fear the Nation of Islam, bro. For what? What? For what? What are they fearing them for? They just wanted to break up the Nation of Islam because they didn't like black people uniting. That's all. And what is the Hebrew Israelite? Hebrew Israelite is the Nation of Islam 2.0. The white man is the devil. We're going to come back and destroy them. They say they're going to come with the motherships and the spaceships, the Ezekiel 37 wheel or whatever it is in Ezekiel. And the Hebrew Israelites saying that 2 million angels going to come out of the sky. Two of them is all faith-based. Ain't no spaceship coming back, bro. Come on, man. Stop it. We hate America, but go on a white man job and can't say it. Come on, man. We stop it. We playing games with our people and our minds. What we need to do is what the Nation of Islam need to do is find a structural place where all the Nation of Islam could unite and get their own farmland and do their own thing. Hebrew Israelites need to do the same thing. And that's it. Ain't nothing going to happen. Ain't nobody coming back. It's still going to be here, bro. It's still going to be here. Ain't nothing going to change. White folks going to be the majority until most of them die out. Look at this guy. Why was it illegal to read? Explain coin to the... So what? They want to dismantle black groups. They don't care about it today. It's different. They done defeated. They done gave us integration. So we feel comfortable. They ain't got to fight us no more. They found a remedy for black supremacy. Integration. That's it. They're going to feel like they're cool and everything is good now. So they ain't going to try to revolt and try to come against us no more. They were scared of Malcolm X talking so strong and all that stuff, but not anymore. That day is gone. We've integrated into the madness. Go ahead, Brother Law.
Yes, the purpose and the reasoning, I actually jumped back on because I got kicked off earlier today and I had to stop because I had to make prayer. But I wanted to know or actually ask a question to several Hebrew Israelites if they was going to jump on a panel is to get their insight on that interview that Captain Tazaryach had with those young Caucasian Jewish gentlemen. His body
What in
mannerism.
that interview what in that interview you want to talk about? Is there anything specific or what is it?
Just, I mean, his whole energy as a whole. I've seen numerous videos in the past and seen how the captain conducted himself and how brass and how up forward he is in regards for his doctrine and things of that nature. But it seemed like somewhat he was passive and he didn't hold the same energy with them European, or should I say Caucasian Jewish brothers, and I would address them as Aki, as he will hold amongst black people.
You know he
And
got paid to go speak to them. They paid his way back and forth and whatever else to go down there. How many black people doing that?
I mean, I get it, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I always said and stood on. If you're holding an engagement in true information and knowledge, money shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
I saw it and I saw that he didn't really take it serious. So it wasn't a serious conversation because it was a little kid and they had bread and they was throwing breads all over the place. And they
Exactly my point. And
it
that's
wasn't
another
serious conversation. I think it was kind of like childlike. But it's you know, it's what it is. I don't know what to say about it.
yes, and it seems like everybody that I have conversations with, for the most part, they have the same stance on it as well. They don't know or understand what to say or how to address it or whatever. That's why I said, from my standpoint, I would love to hear from another Hebrew Israelite and get their standpoint on it.
No, but they're not gonna come out and say nothing negative about Cap because that's my brother. They're not gonna say nothing. What they're gonna do is send it in private or throw their words, like I see they do on Clubhouse. They talk about him all the time, but they say it in code words and throw their words. They don't say it to him. This is what they do. I see, like for example, I like Priest Daniel Allah, right? I see folks talk to me about Priest Daniel Allah, other Israelites, and I'm just looking at him like, look at these hypocrites. They're supposed to be under him or this or that or cool with him, but they talking about him to me and others. Like, that's weak or mean private. And
I find that weak.
that's weak, bro. All of them. This is what I said. I said this months ago. The Israelites who are Israelites in camps, they don't like each other. They don't like each other. I don't like that guy in that camp. Even before the stuff came out about Guerrilla Hebrew, there were camps that just don't like Guerrilla Hebrew's camp. They just don't like Guerrilla Hebrew's camp because, for one, Guerrilla Hebrew's camp, and which Genesis extension is that these guys actually look at the teachings, study them, and will disagree with what the elders teach. So people don't like that. They like, if the elders teach one thing, they like to stay on that course. The elders was right, like they was some Holy Spirit or whatever. They can't be wrong. So even with the King James thing, most of these Israelites don't believe King James is black. They don't believe that shit. But because the elders taught it, which it actually was added later on, according to what Priest had said on Clubhouse, it's something I think came about around 1988. They started saying King James was black. But the point is, these Israelites don't like each other. It's like a competition. I'm more than you. I want to be this, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's what it is. So with Cap, what Cap has done, though, he has made being a Hebrew Israelite commercialized. Now he could these channels and be the guy like, yeah, I'm that guy. So he could say I'm the most popular Hebrew Israelite. People gonna hate it, but it is what it is. But people just don't like ISUPK either. They don't like ISUPK in general, these camps. So they don't like them. They just don't like them.
I can truthfully, honestly say this from seeing that brother speak from time to time. He's very articulate, and his delivery in regards for giving the doctrine and his literature in regards for ISUBK is very profound and has helped a lot of brothers in their lives on a day-to-day basis, as well as learning. My perception of it is this, and this is why I emphasized on it from the beginning, to see how his mannerisms, things of that nature, are amongst African American brothers and sisters of this diaspora. I've never seen him hold his composure and conduct himself in a manner the way he was holding with them young gentlemen. I've never seen that before, and I was behooved to see it.
I gotta watch it. I just saw clips.
Had like him to act more aggressive. I mean,
No, not aggressive. I was surprised to see how those young gentlemen were conducting themselves, and for the most part, Captain was just he looked he joked him.
18. He is young. He's a child in my eyes. He's 18. So
Granted, whether a child be 18, 10 years old, 40 years old, if you're sitting down with a person, and I'm going to address them as a human being, would you be okay with a person conducting themselves in that magnitude, in that manner, throwing things at you and things of that nature? Would you be cool with that?
Me, the person.
Let's be honest.
Me,
Yes.
I don't play childish games, so I wouldn't fool around with that. So no.
That's all I'm saying, sis. That's all.
Hey, how you doing, brother Love?
Peace.
How y'all doing, panel? So what I wanted to explain is that whole, I understand you say like, you don't want to play childish games and everything like that, but that is the setup. So Tazaryach had to know. Because I watched that dude's channel because he's pretty funny. It reminds me of the Eric Andre show. It's not serious. He brings on like politicians and stuff like that, and he does the same thing. So they have an idea going in of this is not real. So he didn't have his guard up. So they just do, it's a skit. It's all skit. It's all for play. Ain't nothing real. He's not asking real questions.
It's all for algorithms and clickbaits and things of that nature. I get it.
100%. 100%. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Now I understand. Like I said, because when I saw it, my wiz, she showed it to me. And I was looking at it like, what? I thought it was a joke. I was like, nah. And she told me, no, finish. Look. And I looked at it completely from the beginning to the end. And I was, like I said, I was behooved. I was like, wow.
And I see why, because that got like over 1 million views. So I see why he did it. And that's one of the top viewed videos that is on that channel.
And
I get it now.
To him was out of it. He was
Exposure.
like he was sleeping or drunk. I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, it didn't seem serious to me either.
Yeah, that was the most relaxed I ever seen him. Or anything.
I mean,
Shout
I've
out to
never
Cap.
seen.
Shout out to Cap and whatever he's doing. I mean,
I mean,
everything is all about
no
marketing.
disrespect, no shade at all towards Cap.
No shade. I'm just saying, shout out to Cap. He's doing what he's doing, and the thing is, and if I guarantee you, he would have never did a hot seat if I was on Sonetta. If me and Rawbone was still on Sonetta, he would have never did a hot seat.
Listen, y'all can still do your own hot seat. So
Let's do a hot seat on my channel and see what he says.
yeah, y'all can still do your own hot seat. Y'all using excuses, you know.
I just myself, in regards to that, I've learned now. From time to time, I'll come on to the channel or Garfield's channel. I'll watch other channels, but in regards to engaging into chats and things of that nature, I'm reserved in a sense, and I can just engage from time to time on Garfield's channel. But other channels,
I don't blame.
I'm just gonna keep it a bean. I've been blocked out from it.
Hey, let me say this to Hugh Dixon. Israel been fighting that, has been part of the problem. Yah's going to fix that. That's faith. So is your faith guaranteed, Hugh Dixon and my brother Isaac? Is it guaranteed? Because everybody like to say Yah is gonna. What if Yah doesn't fix it? What's gonna happen? You see, that's why it's called a wait and see program. You're waiting for your God to do something. This is why the government don't fear Yah. Because he knows y'all waiting for those 2 million angels that will never come. He knows. The same white man that believe in the same God as you, the same Bible, knows it's not going to happen. So that's why he's going to continue to do what he does. What are you going to do? What's your alternative? What's your alternative? Because the wait and see program, if you don't make it work for you, this is why, all right. So for example, my Jamaican family come here. My mother was here, right? So she was a teacher in Jamaica. She retired. She came up here. She taught for 10 years and retired here too. So she was getting 2 retirements, whatever, right? So she moved back the year before my father died. She moved back to Jamaica, right? So she decides, I don't want to live here. Y'all on your own now. Y'all did y'all college thing, everything. Y'all grown up. I'm good. Boom. I'm going back to Jamaica. My job is done. If every Jamaican decided to go back to Jamaica and get their SSI and whatever and move back to Jamaica because that's their world that they're going to live in, that they're going to feel comfortable in before they die. So whether God comes or not, she did her job and she's done. What is the solution for everybody here who is waiting for the 2 million angels? Where are you going to go to have your peaceful life and die? Because that's what's ultimately what you're living for. You're living to ultimately die, but you want to make sure you leave a legacy for your children and your family. So outside of leaving a legacy and family, what are you waiting for? Because the God is not performing at any level right now for anybody in the black community. I don't see how our God is racist, as the Israelites teach. Like God is a racist and that he loves black people, but you continue to live by his laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and you're not getting any blessings. How is it possible? What are you waiting for now? Because and then when everybody talk about me writing a book, I have a whole chapter in my book saying how to invest in fintech companies and pool your resources and move and buy an abandoned town and live on your own and show that God is protecting you on your own land. Nobody's going to do it because it's all a competition. It's a joke. Everybody want to have their own camp and have their pyramid scheme and get the money coming to their pocket. When Gorilla showed his money on the thing, I'm like, yo, hold up. You telling me these guys collected this kind of money? I would start my own camp next week. I should think about it too. I should start my own camp. These guys getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a pyramid scheme. And the only person that benefits is the person at top. He has all this order, all these generals and all these people working regular jobs with white folks, and they're giving their money every month or every week to an organization to set up this pyramid scheme. That's all it is. It's a pyramid scheme. And the person that benefits is the person at top. Go ahead, brother. I'm ranting.
I would take it as, or more so I would say is this: whether you be a Hebrew Israelite, a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, there's a difference between religion and faith. And that's what it basically boils down to. You can believe in something, but just because you have a belief in something doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be faith that exists in everybody's life, including yourself. It's about faith. Faith and religion is something that people convolute with each other, with it. They just blend it together, and you can't. You just can't. I mean,
hold on 1 second. Garfield, can you show us the Ethiopian Jew war hero Netanyahu brought it out to the? I'm not familiar, bro. You gotta email me that so I could do some research. I don't know everything, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Garfield, I remember you saying something in regards is a question or something that you wanted to ask me.
I don't even remember, bro. I don't remember.
I remember seeing you in my emails. I know there was something in regards to Arabia that you wanted to ask me.
Oh no, I think this other guy wanted to have a conversation with you. I forgot the dude name that was on here last week.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
You forgot? Oh, you got short memory. The dude, Brother Law, was speaking to last weekend before you end the show. I can't remember his name. I would have to go back and find out. But yeah, they two had a conversation. Do you remember last week?
No, last week is out of my mind, yo. I don't remember nobody from last week. It's every week. I know Unc was on here. I know Cedric was on here. I don't remember though. I know Brother Law was on here.
Yeah, Brother Law, do you remember that conversation you was having?
Vaguely, sis.
Oh, oh, it's a man.
We old, man. We old people, man. We ain't got time to remember the foolishness, man. If it was something about you, it's different. We gonna remember about fly girls all the time. You know what I'm saying? And what do you mean by how many people join my camp? A lot of people join my camp. Shit.
Well, if that brother happens to jump on another time, inshallah, I'll have the dialogue with him.
Yo, Chris, you said money is nothing to us. You just told us how much money you pay for your bills every month. So why don't you just stop paying your bills then? Stop paying your mortgage since money is nothing to us. You see, some of you guys make some blanket statements. I'm telling you, money is important. That's why you work your job. That's why you have a hustle, because you got bills to pay, bro. What are you talking? You gonna be homeless? You gonna live on the street? Come on, man. Get out of here, man. Anyway, man, family, I'm out of here. Listen, man, you all have a beautiful day. Beautiful day. I wish I was in Mika's house right now. Could I get some rice and peas and chicken for dinner? Because every Jamaican is cooking rice and peas and chicken today. Every Jamaican. That's our national dish on Sundays. No curry goat, no oxtail, rice and peas and chicken.
No roast bread fruit?
No roast bread fruit. That's a special occasion. Special occasion, that. Matter of fact, roast bread fruit, the slave master gave us that because it filled us up throughout 365 days a year. It was the best food to give the slaves. Look at this guy. The scripts tell you money is important. That's right. Talk about it. 2 Israelites fighting in the chat. I like that.
And they only eat bun and cheese for Easter, right, God?
Easter time. Yep. Easter. You see, I celebrate everything with the Christians, man. I celebrate Easter. I celebrate Passovers. I celebrate everything, man. I'm down, man. I'm a holiday guy, man. I love all the holidays.
The only holiday I love is Eid. That's it. I just want to eat. That's it.
No oxtail. What? No dumpling. Oh, man, I'm out of here. Get it. Of course, rice and peas and brown stew chicken. That's what we eat every Sunday, bro. If you're a Jamaican, you know that's what your mother or your grandmother cooking. You know that. Right now, you call your family, that's what they cooking.
Man, that's messed up. Because as soon as y'all started talking about oxtail, all the prices went up. The Chinese wasn't saying nothing. That could have been kept, and then that could have been cheap. But then y'all keep posting them videos.
You know, like 4 oxtail.
Not everybody had to know.
Yeah,
I go look at oxtails right now. That's crazy.
Yo, the cows became they mess up the cows, yo. So they limit the cows. So the oxtail is like you go to a store, you're spending $30 for an oxtail right now. That is crazy.
For like 3 pieces.
$25. I'm like, what? Oh,
that was the cheapest cut. I don't remember eating oxtail since I was a child.
Yeah, I don't really eat oxtail and curry goat like that anyway. But I mean, like, But boy, oh boy, you go to a store, ask for oxtail, it's a whole different ball game right now. Whole different ball game. You know, when I went to Jamaica a couple months ago, right? I had Chinese food in Jamaica. Chinese food in Jamaica is the joint. And people might be like, why you want Chinese food in Jamaica? Jamaican Chinese food, I'm yearning for that because the Chinese food up here don't taste half as good as the Jamaican Chinese food. Jamaican Chinese is the bomb.
Well, they're from a different region, right? They're from a different region in China.
Chinese people came to Jamaica in the 1800s.
Yeah, I know that, but there's different regions that they come from. That influences the food. That's how you know.
China too. They're from China too.
Yeah, but if you're from Guangdong, you're not gonna cook stuff in like Shanghai and nothing like that. That's what I'm saying. There's a regional differences in China, and that shows how they cook.
I think most of the good Chinese delicacies that you taste, they all come from Fujian or Fuying in China. I think it comes from that region.
Yeah, like in the
KFC in Jamaica is a whole different ball game. Jamaicans reconfigured, redefined KFC. It's not the same as KFC in America. This is why Jamaicans are fighting to bring KFC up here. You go to Jamaica, like, yo, Mika, you go to Jamaica next week, bring me some KFC. And we will like, we sell him money, $100, whatever. We need some KFC. Jamaican KFC is totally different than the KFC up here.
Totally I can attest. I was out there in Montego Bay. It's a KFC right outside the airport.
Was it a line to go there? It was a long line, right?
No, because they was getting off the club. So yep.
Long line to get to that KFC. Yeah, man. I went there to Jamaica and they said that the spicy finished and everybody was waiting. I'm like, damn, man, I don't want no KFC again. I had to go across the street and order a Pizza Hut. And they made the Pizza Hut taste similar to the one up here. I'm like, I'm gonna take the Pizza Hut, man. Damn.
The KFC is trifling in America. I don't know what happened.
I don't know
but
what
it's better everywhere else.
KFC in America. I don't know what happened, but they need to. You know what Jamaica need to do? They need to start a KFC up here, the Jamaican version. That would sell off right now. If you open that on White Plains Road, it's gone. That you'd be a millionaire in 2 weeks because people would line up. Just like they got the patty company. I forgot what the patty company is called. They have a new
Juicy.
Right. Yep. All right, man. Hey, listen, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go watch my football game, and then I'm gonna watch my basketball game later. Go Knicks, because we're gonna get the championship, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Call it JFC Garfield. No, we're gonna call it JKFC, Jamaica KFC. They're gonna sue us. Golden Crush. All right, later, y'all. Peace and love. We out of here.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in. And again, Hebrew Israelites, notice I have a show every Sunday. If you want to come and communicate and talk to me, you're free to come on. I let everybody talk. It's not a problem. Not a problem. And we might disagree, but we can have a conversation. All right. Peace and love. I'm out.